Okay, I have saved our runners from Dale 3.
Alright, I'm ready when you are.
You are a generous god.
Okay, let's see. Upgrade Grimchild, Coliseum Zote.
And it looks like we're off a second time.
The second one looks like a lot more collection.
Definitely a lot more randomized goals.
Just scanning
both
over
in the
it.
center and on the edges. So all over, really.
Okay, we did get Upgrade Grimchild at least. No,
So that dream came true.
no Coliseum, I'm afraid. But
We do have Soul Tyrant, which is a rather long goal.
yeah, plenty of Dreamnail blocked goals on this one. Especially on the left side. And I think that we'll see our runners work very hard to avoid that with all of these goals over here being blocked by Dreamnail. Compared to the right side.
Essence.
Yeah, compared to the right side where there aren't any Dreamnail goals.
Yeah, and some of the goals on the left side are also blocked by Crystal Dash, like the Kill Mila goal.
True.
So there's a lot of goals on the left side in general that are locked behind movement upgrades or like required items.
Yeah, actually this could be a very interesting race if someone locks into column 5 because their opponent won't be able to get any goals in column 1.
Oh, and we're getting a rich seed at the beginning here.
655 at Fury, right?
Will we see one of the players go for the early Zelda play?
Alright, sounds good.
I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, I think if you get this much money, early Zelda is probably good, but it's a bit of a gamble.
It is, for sure.
Because if you don't get anything, then you've lost a lot of time going back to Dirtmouth more than once.
Yep, you could also start with Slubra here as an option. But I think we'll probably see them both make the standard play, heading over to False Knight.
Yote, meanwhile, changing his controls mid-race.
Interesting strategy. We saw that before in his last race where he did not have his directions bound correctly. And so when he started, he wasn't able to move.
That would be a distinct disadvantage in a race.
That makes it hard, yeah.
Yote also going for the... I mean, they are rather quick, these Geonodes that he's going for, but with the massive money drop from the Fury chest, I don't really think that's a good play to do.
Yeah, Geonodes are completely unnecessary with a 655 Geo start. We do see Yote buying the map from Cornifer.
He might actually be going for the early Zelda play then. As long as he remembers it.
It's possible. I think that he might also be going for that goal in the bottom row.
Yeah, the buy 6 maps one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This does mean that he's going to have an unavoidable time loss when he's checking with Seer.
That is true.
Because the cutscene is slightly longer if you have a map bot.
Yeah. Actually,
in my race.
by a fair amount. That little Dreamer locations added to map text lasts a while. But
Yote going off to gather even more money. I'm really not sure I agree with this play, actually.
Yeah. I really don't like farming those Geonodes unless you're headed to Fungal. They're very slow, actually, even though they give a lot of Geo.
Yeah, and with how much Geo they already have, it feels like a very large amount of time wasted.
Oh, definitely. If Yote doesn't immediately go check all 3 shops right now and buy very, buy a lot of stuff, not just progression items, I'd be kind of disappointed in this play. Like, to me, if you're farming right now, that indicates that you want to buy more than just progression out of the shops. And you're going to use, I don't know, something like Fragile Strength you find there to beat False Knight faster.
On the other hand, there are a lot of charm goals on the board, so it's not unreasonable that they find a lot of charms and chops.
That's true. A lot of charm goals, in fact. We have 4 of our paired charm goals up along, mostly on the top side. And those can take quite a lot of time to find, because if one of those gets buried, I mean, you're basically out of luck. We also
Yeah,
have
it can take a very long time.
Shade Soul, which is randomized, as well as Kill Mila, you mentioned earlier, requires Crystal Heart.
Yeah.
Love Key also.
Ax killed Watcher Knight, and Yote seemingly not going for the early shop, but instead going to Salubra.
And we find Vengeful Spirit, a very good early item.
Oh yeah, that is excellent to find. It gives him boulder access, and it allows him to do air stalls if necessary. A very versatile spell in general.
Mm-hmm. And now we can already get our hopes up for Queen Station Skip, which we won't be seeing this race. But you never know. And Mothwing Cloak. So
oh wow.
already rip.
Yeah, Axe has a massive advantage already.
Yes.
Finding those 2 items.
Yoda's going to lose a lot of time on the Salubra play.
Yeah, especially since the Mothwing Cloak speeds up Salubra plays by so much.
Right, because he won't, Axe won't have to shade skip here. So this is part of the reason why this early play of checking all 3 shops is generally looked down on.
Yeah. On the other hand, Axe seems to have difficulty with the Ancient Mound, so who knows, maybe Yote will catch up.
It's possible.
I mean, I don't blame him. Ancient Mound is difficult.
And already finding Dashmaster right after Mothwing Cloak. So
that is a very, very potent combo that Axe has.
Mm-hmm.
If Yote doesn't find something to speed him up soon, he's gonna be very behind.
Axe opening the shortcut, even though it's kind of useless after you check Soul Catcher.
Could just be a habit thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It doesn't lose you much to get it anyway, since it's so close.
No, not at all.
I'd imagine that Axe is himself on his way to check all the shops at this point. With his Dashmaster and the Mothwing Cloak, he can check them very quickly.
Yeah, with so much Geo too. That's a very logical next move.
Yote having a bit of difficulty with the Shade Skip, but he got it eventually.
Yep. Manages to make it to Salubra, and Salubra only has Soul Eater. That means that our other shops are going to have much more value by comparison. It also means the early Salubra play was absolutely terrible in this seed.
Luckily, Axe doesn't check Dirtmouth immediately, so Yote is not losing as much time comparatively as it could have been.
Well, checking Dirtmouth right now wouldn't make any sense for Axe, since he'll be going right back there once he has Slide.
That is true.
As
I
it
always
is.
keep forgetting that you need to rescue Sly as well.
Yeah. So Salubra is always going to be your first shop check on this loop, unless you decide specifically to rush a Zelda, and we see Shape of On early.
Unfortunately,
Not
this is not
on this
before you
card.
had Shape of On.
I am remembering the wrong card. Are we going to get a Clawless Shade Skip out of Axe? Certainly seems that way.
Yote finding the other copy of the cloak.
Not going to be very important this seed, since there are no Shade Cloak goals on the board.
True, but it's still a very useful tool to just move to enemies and be able to do fights easier.
Mm-hmm.
Especially having access to it this early.
Yep, this is going to be really cool from Axe. I normally don't go for Clawless Shade Skip myself at Rando Bingos because it's a fairly inconsistent trick, but It'll save him a lot of time over dark room play. And if they don't find dive early, this will also mean he won't have to revisit to do this shade skip later.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if he fails it, which he succeeded, but if he had failed, he could have lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, Ax makes it look very easy.
Getting it first try and all.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Yote seemingly farming the Husk guard.
Very odd by Yote, considering he's already checked every single shot.
Yeah, not to mention, was somewhat risky. He could have died in one hit there for a while. Meanwhile, Ax gonna save a bit of time comparatively because he didn't buy a map. So he's gonna get the shortcuts in here.
Yep, only about a second or two, I think, but you know, those little optimizations, half-second optimizations make a world record or something like that, I've heard.
Yeah, in racing, optimization is still important to get an edge on your opponent, but I mean, you're not gonna really beat world records in these kind of scenarios.
And that's really an ill-defined question, talking about a race world record, but in this case, Ax's movement optimizations are doing him a lot of favors, because he has a pretty strong absolute lead over Yote at this point, and he'll be more or less free to choose the first goal to be marked on the board, unless we see some kind of route divergence from Yote. I think the strongest play would be Leg Eater.
Which, considering how much money he's farmed, is probably the better play for him.
Yeah, definitely a strong play at this point. Fluke Nest, also from the previous card.
Not moonwalking out of the Seer Dream, though.
Not checking the Seer items. That's a 6-second time loss as he goes back into the room. Long Nail and Descending Dark. So, Long Nail, Mark of Pride, already a dead goal. Though it does have synergy with column 1.
It requires Dreamnail at least to get both of those, though, which means that we now have even more Dreamnail goals locked in the left row.
And Quick Focus. We're making a lot of randomized progress early here.
Yeah, if I was Ax, I would definitely aim to try and get the right side of the board, knowing just how many Dreamnail goals are on this.
Yep, I would not be surprised to see play down the King Station. Not seeing it yet, but since he has the drop open, or the lever open in Resting Grounds, he can come back and do that anytime. Column 1, column 5 though is very, very powerful, with 4 guaranteed goals.
Yeah,
and,
unfortunately,
an opposite column with 0 guaranteed goals.
Yeah, unfortunately, he does not have claw nor wings, so he can't go for the Watch a Knight's play.
That is true, but he's certain to find one of those early on, but yeah, opening the Stag Stations just yet would be risky since he doesn't have a way to lock in. Though I still think row 1 would be quite good. Especially if this was a wing seed.
It seems like Yote is going for the Fungal Wastes play.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's the next logical play for both of them at this point. Green Path is very slow in this scenario. Especially... sorry, I was gonna say, I don't remember what the count of shop items is yet. Leg Eater might be a little deficient, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with how much money that Yote has farmed, I think doing the Resting Grounds is a bit of a mistake from his side compared to going to Leg Eater, that is.
I think that in this scenario, if Yote had kept count of the shop items, he would have known that Leg Eater could only have one or two. I don't know whether that actually affects the chances of progression. I think it doesn't, but that is something to keep in mind.
I actually did not know that there was a specific amount of shop items.
There's 10, I believe. The same as vanilla, obviously. But if I remember how they're filled, the junk items are put in at the very end randomly. So the number of items in each shop doesn't really give you a good tell on whether they have progression.
Meanwhile, Ax not going for the fungal waste, but seemingly going down into City of Tears.
Yep. This is a move I was talking about earlier. Yeah, get King Station, then Queen Station while he does his fungal check. That'll give him a very powerful board position.
Yeah, it'll. Unfortunately, it is a corner goal, so Yote can still get either the bottom or the left side.
But of course, now that we've found Longnail and Dashmaster, even though Longnail's not the best goal, row 1 looks much more approachable. The Spend Geo and Nail 2 goals are extremely fast.
That is true. Yote having some difficulty with the Dashmaster.
It's worth noting too, if both of our runners go into Fungal, that Green Path is a very strong play in this scenario with this item set. They can check all 4 items there very quickly.
Yeah, and especially with that, like, Green Path is so horizontal in general that having Dashmaster and the Cloak just makes it super fast to check all of it.
Yep. Ax, very indecisive. City of Tears is quite difficult to navigate without a vertical movement option. Yote, meanwhile, breaking his menu, as Yote is known to do.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there, to be honest.
Yote has done this in every race I've watched. It's beyond me to marvel at it anymore. It's like, oh, there's Yote breaking the settings again.
If I was either runner, I would do my best attempt to stay out of the left side of this.
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to do that is probably gonna be... I mean, it's obviously gonna be the stag stations.
Yeah, that's by far the fastest goal here. The only... I don't even think that there's a strong counterplay to that. Yeah, getting 6 maps isn't feasible at this stage without vertical movement. So, because Yote hasn't done anything to go towards that goal, it's basically just up to whenever Ax feels like getting it.
Yeah, Yote did not go to the station at all after his little mishap with the menu.
I don't know if he opened the shortcut. Not that it'll help
he did open the shortcut, but...
entering from this side.
He did open the shortcut between the station and Mantis Village, so...
Well, it does look like he's going to rush Queen Station, but I don't think that Yote is able to do the Clawless Shade Skip.
Yeah, and it looks like Ax is also on his way to the station, taking a small detour by Leg Eater, but
yeah,
it's not going to lose him a lot of time.
Ax has a huge lead in getting that goal.
Yeah. This is more or less a snowball from Yote deciding to get all those extra Geonodes, and Ax immediately finding Dashmaster and the dash so quickly.
Yeah, Yote lost several minutes in Crossroads just through very strange routing.
Yeah, and some bad luck too. If Dashmaster and Cloak had not been so early for Ax, the time difference would not be this big.
That's true, but that doesn't change the inherent time loss of this play.
True.
It wasn't purely unluckiness from the randomization. But we'll see if Yote...
It was definitely made worse by the randomization.
Yes, we'll see if Yote decides to turn up here and head into Green Path. I expect we're probably going to see Dashmaster and Mantis Claw from Ax before anything else. But this will be a little annoying for his routing because if progression is in green path, then Mantis Claw will be a forced quit out.
I mean, we don't. Yote doesn't know where Ax is, but if I was Yote, I would think that going for King Station at this point would probably be the play to do.
Well, how are you going to go for King Station?
That is true. Yote might not be comfortable with all the shade skips that would be required.
Yeah, that's a fairly difficult shade skip for people who haven't done it in runs before. Especially knowing that it's never required by logic. It's, they're unlikely to have practiced it or to want to go for it.
Unfortunately, these are kind of situations where they would pay off despite not being in logic.
Yep, definitely. This is the kind of situation where you have to think of that play when it's in such a powerful position on the bingo board.
And Yote not going for green path anyway, so it seems like he's gonna try to clear out all the fungal.
That makes sense. And he's invested a lot of time in fungal now, so it would be very strange to bail out of here without finishing it.
Yeah, and most of the goals are still available to him. It's just gonna take a while. Like, he can still get all the checks in Mantis Village. It's just he's gonna need to save quit out at some point and go back.
Well, yeah, neither of them can check Mantis Lords yet. So, that is one downside of making this early fungal play. The Mantis Lords is a fairly slow check in the first place, not something you want to prioritize in a rando bingo. Yeah, Yote had a very strange explosion Pogo setup, which led to him taking quite a bit of damage and failing.
And I think we're gonna see our first goal from Ax here.
Yep, Ax already marking Queen's King Station.
Which means that Yote is now locked into either the bottom row or the left row.
Yep, unfortunately Yote does not have many good options to lock into the bottom row. 6 maps, by far the fastest goal there, but he just doesn't have the progress towards that. Without doing the Clawless Shade Skip, you can get only 5 maps. Crossroads, Green Path, Fungal, Resting Grounds. That's 4. Sorry. But after doing the Shade Skip, he could get 2 more. Kingdom's Edge and Ancient Basin.
Yeah. Funnily enough, Ax can't actually force Yote into any row unless he finds deep focus here. Or he could take a really long deep... No, he can't get the Gomen Garpy Journal because that requires dive.
No.
And he can't get the Tears Grubs either.
Yep, we're basically at a point right now where we're waiting for the next progression item to be found.
Yeah. So this is... Yote still has a lot of time where he can lock in the bottom row if he manages it somehow. If he can find a good item.
He does. That being said, Ax has a fairly strong lead in terms of number of checks, thanks to have already visited Resting Grounds.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically neck and neck, but...
Like, even...
Ax has been to Resting Grounds already.
I find it very unlikely that we would see Yote go into a complete bingo go mode, as he does find Monarch Wings.
That's going to help out quite a bit.
But what I was going to say is, it's unlikely that we'll see him strictly rush the 6 map goal and skip the very long Dream Mail sequence and stuff like that.
Yeah, I find that unlikely as well.
So Ax's lead will grow significantly once Yote goes to Resting Grounds.
Yeah, Yote finding out that you can't really get up here, even with the wings. You need a Mantis Pogo to get that, or the Claw.
And decides to quit out, but rather than checking Mantis Lords. Just a play I normally like. Mantis Lords is extremely slow with wings. Still slow with Claw, even. And there are a lot of goals available on the board right now.
And I guess we'll see what Ax decides to do with the wings soon.
That's right. I kind of like the Hornet 2 play. Watcher Knights is probably a little faster, but in Ax's position, you shouldn't be feeling very threatened, and Hornet 2 is much more lucrative without Claw.
True. I prefer the Watch and Ice play just because Watch and Ice is a cool battle, but it's probably not super optimal.
True. Neither fight will be very easy with their current spell set, for sure.
However, Watch and Knights might be a more familiar battle for people who run any percent. I don't, strictly speaking, know what ones both runners have done a lot of.
Ax does not run any percent at all. In fact,
I'd imagine that one 2 would be the easier fight for him then.
In fact, I have seen and maybe even commentated on Axe having very atrocious Watcher Knight fights in this tournament. So, we may still see that, but it probably would not be his best idea.
Yeah, Axe is going for the Mantis Lord's play though.
I think Yote runs all skills, so he should be about equally comfortable with the two fights. Not that he could go for them right now, but...
Is Yote also deciding to go for Mantis Lords here?
I think Yote is going for Sports Room.
Oh yeah, he's set up a shade. Not doing the explosion pogo.
I don't think he hit his shade beforehand, so... Okay,
He
there
did
he
not,
goes.
so- There, yeah. And this is a somewhat precise shade skip.
Yep, mostly
It's
left
not
to
as
right.
precise as the clawless Blue Lake skip, but it's still pretty precise.
Yep, not super hard. The precision is mostly left to right in terms of not getting the shade to hit its leash. You have
Luckily, he didn't get it first try. Well,
Right.
second try. But...
a very wide leeway for how high you can be to get over.
Decided to free some grubs. Grubs are not strictly speaking a goal, but I think they're in logic since they have the wings.
Yes, I think so. Alright, so Axe is now going to do this long backtrack to Mantis Lords. We'll see if it was worthwhile. Yeah, a lot of times we'll see Dream Nail or other nice things in
And
their treasure trove.
Axe did bench near Mantis Village, so it's a lot short of a backtrack than it could have been. If he had benched in Queen Station, for example, it would have been a much longer backtrack.
Chat already talking about Deep Nest. I think it's pretty clear, given this card, that Deep Nest is not a good play, with only the one Gongar feed goal. That being said, they are in a position where they can check all 3 items in Deep Nest, which is fairly rare. So it's a very good, like, third wave kind of area after you've checked your fast items in Soul Sanctum and so on.
Yote getting the Spike Tunnel skip with Dash Master equipped, that's not bad.
Yep, much easier with the mod, of course. So,
Yeah, fixed Dash Master.
yeah,
High Blood has been found. Unfortunately, this is not the card where High Blood was.
yes. So sad when you have a goal with no hive goals. A card with no hive goals, I meant to say.
And then Quick Slash. So there was nothing of value gotten from the Mantis Lords. Part perhaps a relic.
Yep. So that's just 5 minutes gone. But what can you do? It's a very tempting play to make when you're in Mantis Village because you're so close and it's so easy to forget it later.
Yeah.
I don't like this play by Ax2u because he can pogo out of this room, but the next room is going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, it would probably be better for him to just go around.
Yeah, this was one of the reasons why the Dash Master bench is so awful.
This is gonna allow Yote some time to catch up. Unfortunately, there was nothing useful by Glowing Moon anyway, so...
Oh, Axe making it look like child's play. Good job.
He's clearly practiced this a lot.
Of course. But, yeah, we'll see what Axe does next. Sports Room, maybe? Or heading up into Green Path, or maybe even, dare I say it, getting goals. Only a
He
little
could go
sarcastic there.
for goals right now. He has the setup, but
I would love to see blocking in a column and making progress to column 4. Take
yeah,
it.
I find it more likely that they're gonna check green path though,
Yep.
since it's so close and so fast at this point.
That being said, for Ax, going into green path, not a bad idea since Dome Garpede is one of the faster static goals in column 4.
True, but he still does not have the equipment needed for it, so he'd need to find
Yes.
the dive.
Well, we have found one of the dives, and it's quite
Yes.
awful.
Yes, that's dream
Not-
nail locked.
Not currently
And the big dream
obtainable.
nail locked too.
Yeah, we don't know whether that's the first dive or not, too. You know, the other dive could be dive blocked, in which case this will be a very awkward seed.
Yeah. Yote going for the overgrown mound. Also, a check I tend to forget exists quite a bit.
Yeah, Wraiths is a very slow check in general, no matter what items you have. So, I don't know, it can be very hard for runners to justify coming over here. But this is a kind of card scenario where it is a good play just because of how many randomized items there are.
Ax, meanwhile, not bothering with the Howling Wraiths, instead going immediately into Green Path.
Yep, probably a good idea for Ax. He shouldn't be wasting time on slow checks, especially right after getting burned by Mantis Lords.
Yeah, I agree. I think Green Path is a much better play for him here.
Yep. Not the best play, since he's still not getting goals, but it is 4 items.
Of the plays available to him, this is definitely not the worst.
No, and Yote finds Shade Soul, so
Oh, that means Yote now has a goal in reserve.
he does.
And that could actually help Yote quite a bit, because Shade Soul gives a lot of damage potential, which will make a lot of fights much faster. Especially if Yote goes into Green Path himself and finds the Shaman Stone that Ax just found.
Yeah, which is another goal on the board. Ax has found half of all of these goals now, actually. All 4 double charm goals.
He just needs to find the other half.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised that all the charm goals, so much progress have been made towards him already, actually.
yeah, this seed is going to come so heavily down to where Vengeful Spirit is. Not Vengeful Spirit, Dream Hell is. Because Yote is really going to suffer from that reserve goal if he gets locked into column 1.
Yeah, or if he takes the bottom, for that matter, because Shade Soul is really far up
yeah.
the board.
And I think it could be quite a long time before Ax finds that.
Yeah, I doubt Ax will go off to Howling Waves anytime soon. If he skipped it earlier, he's not gonna waste time going back for it now.
Yeah, the best time for Ax to go back to it would be on his way to Love Key, which could be quite some time from now.
Yote is probably about to find Shaman Stone though, since he's taking the same direction. Deciding to fight Moss Charger first though.
Seems fair. This is a much more efficient way to farm Geo compared to the Geodudes we saw at the start of the race.
Yote's skin thrown me off for a second. I thought I saw him throw out a Vengeful Spirit instead of a Shade Soul, but then I realized he's using the Inverted Night skin.
Yep. Yeah, those repaletted spells can be a little visually confusing. You have to recognize the sprite rather than the color palette. Okay, this is curious from Ax.
Collecting grunts right now.
Yep, hopefully gonna see a Hunter's Journal pickup. Or not.
It seems like maybe he's going to take it on the way back down.
If he's just getting the map, I think this is a very poor play. Green Path map is not the fastest map in any circumstance. Not to mention it gets sent back to the shop anyways.
I agree. I think the better play here would have been getting... If he wants to go up to get this...
Okay, he's got to quit out from Hunter's Journal, actually. So, this makes sense. Not a bad play, actually. And probably going to head back up along the Thorns shaft, which is, your typical strat with dash.
I unfortunately have yet to see in the tournament anybody going for getting the journal entries first and then grabbing the journal itself.
We've seen a few people do that, I think.
Oh, really?
Yep. Notably, yesterday we had someone who got the journal entries without the journal, which led to them not knowing how to mark the goal and losing it to their opponent. It's quite
Oof,
unfortunate. Yep, Ax already accruing lots of lore on Green Path. So,
Lots of damage as well.
yes, that too.
He knows
Can be-
exactly what he wants.
Yeah, you mentioned that this is a very long and horizontal area, but it does still have its fair share of enemies to make it hard to just mash dash from one side to another.
Yeah, it requires some skill to navigate.
Yeah. Still a fairly easy area, but not quite Crossroads level of easy. We see the simultaneous Dream Shield pickups. We'll see if Ax decides to equip his favorite charm, as he has been known to do in the past.
Certainly something I would recommend. Not so much.
It's very powerful in 1-2-2-1. It's for soft blocking bosses. Like, it can fry Collector. What else? I think it can screw Failed Champion too. Oh, we're seeing some really nice wings movement strats at Green Path from both players. Very impressive. I did not know that.
I'm actually rather surprised at how close they are again, seeing how they've had their own detours.
Yep.
Seeing them this close together is, I don't know. It's not impressive. Axe taking a few moments to consider the proper course of action.
Probably would be faster to do Baldur Shell first, but this is a very strong play too, getting this bench and having the ability to save quit.
Especially for Yote, who has Shade Soul, Boulder Shell would go really fast to check.
Yep. The other play, which I doubt they're thinking about, but to consider, is that if Claw is at Mothwing Cloak, then, or at Baldur Shell even, then they'll want to progress up into Howling Cliffs afterwards.
Yote's equipping that Shaman Stone. I'm really liking that idea actually, because he's gonna have so much damage now. It's gonna make boss fights a lot quicker for him.
How does... Oh, never mind, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask how Yote had all his charm notches, but I realized he got the Salubra and the Mushroom notch. I miscounted.
Or maybe he
Okay.
overcharged.
No. Meanwhile, Ax, not having the fastest Hornet fight in the world, that's for sure. I shouldn't talk because I have awful Hornet fights. Without exception.
Meanwhile, Yote showing just how strong that Shade Soul is by basically shooting the Vengefly King once and striking him twice.
Yeah, Vengefly King, very frail in the first place, but Shade Soul just demolishes him.
It seems like Yote is going for the Boulder Shell check first.
Yep, checking it this way.
I'd imagine
Not
he's
bad.
gonna save Warp back for Hornet later.
Yeah, that seems like the play. Of course, if Isvastir is here, then that will be the Galaxy Brain play in its own right. It is interesting that he is killing the Baldur as though he's going to exit that way.
Finding Wraiths though.
That'll be good for the potential Abyss play we could see in the future.
Yeah, if he does go for Hornet, it could also be useful to help lock her down, because Howling Wraith is actually really useful in stun blocking.
Howling Wraith is useful in stun locking, but its damage potential is vastly eclipsed by Shade Soul. Just because of the difference in cast animations, even though they do similar damage.
Yeah, I suppose Shade Soul also has the possibility to double hit, which would dramatically increase the damage output.
Yes, a double with Shade Skip. Shade Soul on Hornet 1. Quite powerful.
Ax, meanwhile, getting his own Boulder Shell going.
Yep, interesting. Without having Shaman Stone, he does have to farm soul on that.
Oh, and Yote actually does get the double hits.
Yep, the massive hitbox on Shade Soul makes it very possible. Much easier than with
incredibly fast Hornet fight.
Yeah, Shade Soul and Shaman Stone makes double hits much easier against every boss where they're possible. If you go and try and do it with Vengeful Spirit without Shaman Stone, it is very, very different. Okay, Axe is finished for Green Path for now. 2 items left, neither of them accessible.
And he's going off to King's Station, so he might be going for that Hornet 2 or Watcher Knight's play at this point.
Yep, we'll have to see which goal he wants to lock in.
Unfortunately, without Void spells, it's still gonna be slower than it could have been. This is where it would have paid off to have checked Overgrown Mound earlier.
Yeah, though that's so unlikely that you can't really strategize around that. You know, you're just as likely to have found the steady body that was at Mothwood Cloak there instead.
Yeah.
Then you just wasted 3 minutes for that.
Unfortunately, it works out sometimes.
Yep, that's randomizer.
And
Meanwhile,
I imagine since he's going deeper into City of Tears, he's just gonna go for the Watcher Knight's play.
Yote making a very... I guess this isn't too strange of a play since he's got to do a Shade Skip after this. But getting the Crossroads Grubs now, probably not a great idea considering that Crystal Heart is completely unknown. And Axe is going to rush column 5.
Yeah, so that goal is gonna be all the way on the other side of the board.
Yeah. Not a realistic goal for him, I think. That being said, because Axe waited so long to make progress towards column 5, Yote could prioritize 6 maps right now. And if he doesn't check Resting Grounds here, if he were to go straight into King Station, which he won't do, but which he could do, I think he would be able to get that goal before Axe could beat one of these bosses. It would be close.
Yeah, we'll have to see who gets the goal first here.
Yeah, Axe
if Yote even is going for the goal, we don't know if he's actually going for it or if he's just checking items.
Yeah, Axe looks like he's committed to Watcher Knights. I think Yote is just checking items.
Yeah, I think Watcher Knights is a good play from him.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's not a very good random echo play because he can't even get the seal from Watcher Knights. So all this gets him is a goal in the card.
Well, true. It's a very devastating goal for his opponent.
Yeah, but no more devastating than Hornet 2 would be, for that matter. And Hornet 2 is not significantly longer than Watcher Knights at this point. That being said, Axe is rushing left instead.
Yote
or maybe
facing
even
that little time loss.
Soul Sanctum.
Axe seemingly indecisive, actually. He seems to have committed to Soul Sanctum.
I think he's going to land, but we'll see. I'm right.
Ah, yeah, he's going to land, yeah. Well, who really knows what goes through Axe's mind?
Sending the elevator down. The Galaxy Brain play.
Oh, that
Actually was the Galaxy Brain play in this case.
I was not expecting the pogo off the top of the elevator. That was
do
actually
believe
pretty good.
do believe that's still slower than the alternative, but very very neat looking strat.
Axe clearly living by my personal favorite mantra that it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, as long as you look cool doing it. I can support this play.
That sounds like a hundo player mindset.
Well, probably not wrong. Yote finally getting these resting ground checks.
Ax going
Ax having
for
some difficulty with Soul Sanctum.
all of the claw strats without claw.
Yeah, we'll see if Yote can claw his way back into an advantage here.
Claw would be very helpful. It would let him, at the very least, it would make column 1 much better, because Stag Nest would be available.
Is there actually a goal for Stag Nest? There is one for an extra Soul Vessel, but not Stag Nest in particular.
No. Part of that is that, because you can't open Stag Nest from inside on this patch, it's a much more annoying goal than it would be in 1.2.2.1, where you just pay the toll to open it.
There's a toll on the Stag Nest?
There used to be.
Huh. Shows what I know. Ax still having some difficulty with the Soul Sanctum.
He does survive,
The
though.
teleporting move.
Opens a useless shortcut.
He might be coming back here later for Soul Tyrant.
Oh yeah, that's possible actually.
And opening the shortcut barely loses any time, so there's no point not to really.
Soul Tyrant is the slowest goal of column 2, but and we find time.
Oh, that is actually really big for Ax. It allows him access to a lot of things. Go and Garpy journal entry, 2 quick checks in resting grounds. He can get Descending Dark if he wanted to, but that still costs 900 essence. He can check Crystal Peaks fully at this point. That opens up a lot of options for him. And he's doing a pretty good job of using Wraiths against Soul Master.
Still can't fully check Crystal Peak without Claw, but definitely a much stronger play now.
Ax doing a very good job with Soul Master, I'd say.
Yeah, hasn't taken any damage.
Meanwhile, Yote going for the Mantis Lords.
Yeah, unfortunately for Yote, this is going to be a very substantial time loss. It's a very strange play too, I think, since this doesn't work towards any goals whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the Mantis Lord's play.
Not to mention it's so slow without wings. Like, he could literally get Shopkeeper's Key faster than this. And get a comparable amount of value.
And that hard save paying off, literally, with 80 Geo.
The worst Geo pickup.
Let's see what's in the chest instead then.
Garbage.
Even more money!
I will not tolerate people who say Fragile Greed is good. That is simply unrealistic. And will Ax quit out, or will he jump feudally?
It seems like he will jump.
He will do both.
I believe I have seen almost everybody who does that jump.
Everyone hopes that they didn't actually just kill all the floating enemies.
But it never works out that way.
Yep. Fortunately, not a massive time loss.
And Ax didn't sell his relics, so he still needs to find more money to get the 3000 Geo goal if he wants to go for that.
Very curious play by Ax to soft block a second time.
Ax is a fan. I can see.
What I was gonna say is I do feel vindicated by this result. Soul Sanctum, the dive will be a little useful. A very garbage play considering that Ax is continuing to cede control of the board. Yote isn't capitalizing on it, but
yeah, I don't know. I think Soul Sanctum was a very poor play compared to going to Watch Knights.
yeah, we're very deep into this race now, almost. Considering when I started the timer, about 50 minutes in, so
Ax not getting the fake dives either.
going for City of Tear Scrubs. This will
Oh,
be another quit out if he wants to get that grub.
yeah, the funny thing is, he could actually get that grub by just pogoing with the wings on these flying guys, but instead he's going for the quit out.
And he kills all the enemies that he could have used to pogo with Vengeful Spirit too.
Yeah, this is I'd like to call it subpar. Meanwhile, Yote himself checking Mantis Village.
Alright, we'll see if one of our runners can be convinced to actually play Rando Bingo. And not just Rando.
Maybe one of these days they'll start going for goals instead.
It's an option, I just want to make that clear. I mean, for all we know, Ax didn't even know that King Station, Queen Station was on the card. He just went for that because it was convenient. Like, have we confirmed that our runners can see the card?
We have confirmed that one of our runners can see the card.
Okay, he did mark a goal. Fair enough.
Slowly but surely he's making his way out of Soul Sanctum. So we'll see if he decides to go for Watch a Night or really any goal in the right column.
I feel like it would be strange to come all this way and not get the simple key.
Yeah, I'd imagine... honestly, at this point, I'd almost say that going for the simple key into City Storerooms to take the Stagway and try and get the journal entries might be a good play. I still think Watch a Night is probably superior.
Yeah, he should... I like having a second goal in the base row. It's a very powerful thing to have.
Yeah, it allows a lot of options. Ax deciding to watch the bench instead.
Ax takes the bench. It'll be very curious to see what the plan is here.
I mean, regardless of what goal he's going for, I think that bench is better than being hard saved in Soul Sanctum, so...
I mean, yeah, but it's worse than being hard saved in a stag station. Which he could be in just under 20 seconds here, if he wanted to. But maybe we are going to see the much vaunted 106 play to go dip into Crystal Peak for Shopkeeper's Key, then walk all the way out to go buy Elegant Key, and then save quit back to that bench. It's
yeah,
possible.
I was going to suggest that he might be going for that. It would certainly be interesting to see.
Just friendly reminder that walking out of Crystal Peak is insanely slow.
Yeah.
I
would not be surprised if it would be faster to save warp out and then go to Sly and buy the key and then save warp back again.
Looks like he's working towards one extra soul vessel, which is like certainly a goal. I don't think
accessible to him.
Yeah, I don't see why you would rush that.
He might be going I don't know, I really don't think Ax is doing very good plays at the moment. I really think he should go for another goal and try to lock Yote into a inferior position.
Yep, Ax's play seems very impulsive, dominated by what's immediately close to him, which is not bad, but it's distracting him from the important long-term moves he needs to make for this race to end in the next 2 hours.
Yeah. It does seem like, or Yote is not capitalizing on it though. I haven't really seen Yote do any play towards getting a goal himself, so...
No, Yote has Yote even rushed maps at all? I don't think he has.
I don't think so either.
Yote may be just hoping for Dreamnail to fall out of the sky, in which case, well, I mean, you can hope.
Yeah, I find it unlikely.
Alright, so Ax maybe about to go into Waterways. That is the best use of the Soul Sanctum bench, in my opinion. Not my favorite still, but at least it somewhat justifies it.
Yeah, from his position currently, and it does work towards the use 2 simple keys goal.
It does, for sure.
Which at this point he can actually get it, because he can buy the second key from Sly, and Ax seeming to have a real affinity for tops of elevators this game.
Yeah, that was a very talented inventory drop there.
But like I was saying, Sly does sell a second simple key.
Yeah, and he'll easily be able to afford it here.
Yeah, and GG is right next to the shop as well, so or sort of next to the shop. So
A-
he could get the 2 simple keys goal
Ax
somewhat quickly.
almost quits out without opening the shortcut. Looks like he's got
Eh,
open waterways and then quit out, maybe?
It's
Oh, nope,
I
sorry,
have no clue what
sorry.
Ax is doing.
Apologies for suggesting. Meanwhile, Yote gonna give us a glimpse of Kingdom's Edge, so this will be
Yeah,
neat.
we haven't seen this from either runner yet, so we could get some interesting items here. If we find Claw, that would be excellent for him. Yote's
Of
passing
course,
by the
Yote.
block again and save quitting.
We know that Yote
I'm
will not have dive, so he will not be able to check Quick Slash for us. A little
That is
disappointing.
and he finds
Okay, I really don't like this play now. To go so far into Kingdom's Edge and only check one item.
yeah.
That's
If
just
he-
strange.
He didn't buy a map, I don't think. He didn't buy the map for Kingdom's Edge. Or if
Okay,
he did, I missed it.
yeah, I didn't catch it either. Ax, meanwhile, is finally headed to Watcher Knights, so you have gotten your wish.
Have I though?
Okay,
I'm-
maybe you haven't. Maybe he's walking to King Station.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's probably not going to watch it.
I said that sarcastically. I'd like to state for the record. I did not actually think that he was walking to King Station.
I am thoroughly confused by the decisions of the runners.
Wait,
Not going to...
didn't he quit out of this room?
Who?
Ax? What?
I think he went back to Lem and then quit out.
Oh, but why? Oh, I think he realized he hadn't opened the shortcut. That must be it.
That would make sense actually.
Still not clear why he didn't just stag from City Storerooms to King Station and get a decent bench.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Meanwhile, Yote is checking Crystal Peaks.
Very good play. I like this. Especially would like to see Shopkeeper's Key into Deep Focus and then a quit out. The other
Yeah.
items are quite slow to check. Well, Crystal Heart's the only other item you can check, but extremely
and,
slow.
This Ax2u not working out for. Okay, it worked out.
Alright, Ax seeming to target Nail 2. Maybe he has decided that he wants row 1.
Yeah, I am.
And that seems awfully questionable to me, but this
Yeah,
will
especially when he still has the option of going to the right side.
this will be very painful for Yote having that reserve goal forever.
That is true, but I doubt that Ax will get it anytime soon either.
True. I meant it more in terms of Ax not getting hit, so Yote being constrained by his goal options. Okay.
Getting those spike tunnels.
This is the 4th quit out to this bench, I think.
Yeah, I guess taking that bench was a really good play after all, because he's using it a lot.
I would contend that using it a lot is not equivalent to it being a good play.
Yeah, I was being slightly sarcastic. Seems... Yeah, he's going for the Nailsmith at this point, so...
Well, this is strange. I suppose it's worth noting that we can compare row 2 to column 4, which we haven't talked about yet. Column 4 is still better, I would say.
Yeah.
3000 Geo and Comb and Carpete are accessible, whereas in row 2, literally only 2 simple keys is accessible for Ax, according to what he knows.
Yeah. On the other hand, the top row does have a lot of stuff he could get immediately, so maybe he's just wanting the quick goals. I think that's a bad play, but
Still, 3 guaranteed goals in top row versus 4 guaranteed goals in column 5.
yeah,
So strange. Also makes Dream Warrior slower, which, not a big deal. Not as big a deal as people normally make it out to be. But still, questionable.
yeah, especially since, or speaking of Dream Warriors, it's not going to be as big a deal as it could be because Axe is going to
5th quit out to the bench.
is not marking nail 2, so maybe he just wanted it for damage.
I
He
mean,
might not be confident in his Watch a Night skill or something.
it's possible. I won't put anything past it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not confident, Watch a Night is a very very difficult boss if you're not actually practiced with it. So if he's not confident with it, he might be upgrading nail just to make that easier.
Well, he's not going to Watcher Knights, so
So I still do not get my dream.
yep, your theory unfortunately is dead. Axe is headed to city storerooms a second time, possibly to buy a simple key, and maybe go for column 5 instead because he seemingly doesn't want row 1, even though he went very far out of his way to get row 1.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yote is going for deep focus.
Yep,
Without dash. I actually like that he has a sharp shadow kit for this. It's gonna make this skip a lot easier for him.
Oh yeah, Sharp Shadow will make this pretty much free.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't take too much damage before getting there.
And sharp shadow in general is, I think, a pretty good charm.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful
Yes.
when you have Shake Luke to extend
Yeah.
the dash distance.
Yeah, especially for races because it doesn't. Oh wow!
And it is the billion IQ.
Paying off.
Is X about to try and lock himself into 2 reserve goals here?
I honestly have no clue.
Okay, but Yote is now in an extremely powerful position with that Mantis Claw.
Yeah.
He can finish checking all of Crystal Peak now, too.
Yeah. I really like how Yote actually equipped Sharp Shadow specifically for checking deep focus. It shows a pretty good awareness of what the difficulty of that skip and what can make it easier for him to do it.
Yeah, that was a really good play by Yote because actually, oh, and X marking 3000 G is spent. Not nail 2 though.
Which still does not actually lock Yote into any row.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should leave that stored, sorry. But very curious by Axe because still leaving things open.
Yeah, Yote can still go either bottom or left side.
Yeah. Meanwhile, is Yote going for this Pale Lore?
I'd imagine so. What else would he do here?
I don't think this is a good play, but whatever.
No, I agree. I think going for the nail is probably one of the worst plays he could do at the moment.
Right, this is a very slow check, and
it's not even a check to begin with.
Yes, a very slow progress towards a goal he can't mark, is how I should put it. Also, he looks like he's in serious danger of dying.
Yeah, and dying here with 1000 Geo,
Yep.
something you'd rather have. Oh, and well.
As you were saying, it's something you don't want to have happen, in general.
Yeah.
It's usually unpleasant. And is X going back for the green path Vessel Shard?
It's the only goal I can imagine he's going for over here.
My eyebrows are very strongly raised right now.
Well,
but
he can get that goal, and it would lock Yote into a row.
Now it makes sense. This is X's master plan to lock into column 5. It's an awful plan, but it's going to work. Actually, is this one attainable without Claw? I'm not sure it is.
I will have to see, I suppose. Maybe he can pogo an enemy?
He might have to shade skip here. I think he would have to shade skip if he wanted this one. Not to mention, the King Station one is far faster right now anyways. Why would you even come to Green Path?
And I still think that Watch It Knights is a faster play than getting this.
Oh, of course. He could have locked into a goal 30 minutes ago. Locked into a column, rather. There is no excuse from either of these runners for us to be an hour in with no side determined, other than a common lack of interest in ending the race. What? This is his 6th quit out to that bench.
Ax is making some real use of that. He's getting his money's worth to that bench, though. Meanwhile, Yote grabbing back his shade and continuing making his way up to the Paylor.
So, what could the next play possibly be from Ax? Waterways?
Honestly, at this point, he's got me so good. Like,
Ax
not
is,
sure I can predict what he's gonna
Ax
do.
is honestly unpredictable.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Apparently it's Lem. Into Waterways? No.
Nope.
In
Still
the,
insistent on not using those two simple keys, which he can do at any point in time.
into King Station? Into Water? Into
sorry,
the 7th quit out to this awful, atrocious, terrible bench that no one should ever buy?
I believe so.
Meanwhile, Yoda's rolling in grubs.
Yeah, and
Wow.
giving these Crystal Peaks checks. I mean, of the two, I still don't think either is doing like, a terribly good routing, but at least
No.
Joda's getting checks done and found
Yeah,
some good stuff.
like
so.
I like the decision to finish Crystal Peak. I wish that he hadn't wasted time on the Paylor, but there's a very good chance he'll find one copy of Dreamnail here.
Yeah, exactly, and
He finds
Even
his
if he
Mystere,
doesn't,
which is still nice. That is love key access, which is
he needs to.
a very nice center goal here.
I'm not sure why he's doing this instead of save quitting out. I feel like
He-
save quitting would be way faster.
Yeah, he has the bench. He probably didn't open the shortcut, though he doesn't need it to check the Crusher chest, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing left for him to do here, so.
This is mysterious. Yep, he has one more item in the area, but... And Ax is paralyzed. He's lost his bench. How does he keep on going without the Soul Sanctum bench?
Yeah, if the only real option he has at this point is to go back and get that, of course, and then continue the race.
He may be getting Shopkeeper's Key so he can buy the 3rd Soul Vessel. That is an
I think
option.
it's worth mentioning that at any Ax could just mark nail too.
He could. He really let us on into thinking that he wanted row 1. He obviously
he-
doesn't, though.
Yeah, and he spent, I don't know, 15 minutes getting that nail too?
A lot of time. I mean, going down into Ancient Basin and not checking Monarch Wings, not getting the 2nd simple key while he was down there, was so strange. And wow, Yote finding Crystal Heart.
Yeah, that is really helpful.
All of a
Joe has
sudden,
found a lot of good stuff in Crystal Peaks.
Yote will be able to cross the board if he gets locked into column 1. Because
Yeah.
he can do Stag Nest into Myla, into Love Key, or even into Shade Soul, rather. No reason to get Myla, but still, quite, very powerful position for him.
Yeah,
I don't know what Yoda's doing. Probably going to Resting Ground Stag here.
I'd imagine so.
I
I
think-
don't really see what else he could do.
Pretty sure
Meanwhile-
that's slower than Crossroads, but that's
Yeah.
fair.
Ax is also gonna go check Crystal Peaks, it seems now. Question is, will he actually check Deep Focus?
Yep, Ax will be in a great position if he checks Deep Focus. He'll be in an awful position if he,
If he skips it?
yeah. Which could happen either if he has trouble with the Spike Tunnel, if he takes too much damage after, getting Shopkeeper's Key. A lot of unfortunate things could happen. It's also worth noting that Crystal Heart will not be available without Claw. So
Yeah, and that means that quite a few, or not actually that many, but a few goals here are claw locked. That shouldn't be claw locked, or how you want to put it. That usually aren't claw locked.
right, the important thing about that, I think, is that if you end up skipping deep focus, a lot of times you'll say, "I'll come back after I find Crystal Heart," and then it'll be easier.
Yeah, and
That's not going to be an option.
not this game. Yote, or Ax, sorry, seemingly having some trouble with getting this this pogo here.
Yeah, a lot of trouble with pickaxe pokos from both sides of the race.
And Yote going off into Soul Sanctum, I'd imagine.
Very interesting. Axe dying.
Meanwhile, Ax dying.
Unfortunately, Axe won't respawn at the Soul Sanctum bench, so he's not going to recover any of his energy. Oh, and Yote doing the Galaxy Brain Shade Soul through the wall.
Yeah, interesting variation. I'm not sure that's gonna work.
Yeah, it would definitely have worked on 1-2-2-1, where
Yeah, but this
Shade
patch
Soul. Okay, it worked. Fortunately, Shade Soul does persist a very good ways off screen, even though it's not infinite like it used to be.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. If the Shade Soul would disappear before it damaged properly. But
Okay.
he did it, and he got through it. He could actually check the Watch Night chest if he wanted to.
That would
Maybe,
be really risky, though, going full on reserve. If that.
I really liked that Crystal Dash play, though. Yote is making good use of having Crystal Dash.
Yep, good movement from Yote, actually. Very impressed. Yep.
I'm liking that a lot.
Possibly this is going to be. No, this is just straight up Soul Sanctum.
Yeah,
Or maybe City of Tear Scrubs. That is something he could mark. He didn't get the one by Watcher Knight, so.
That is true. I don't think I saw him get the one near Tower of Love.
Yeah, I don't remember when he went to Kingdom's Edge before, you know? He could have.
But this is gonna give him dive too.
Axe forced to do
Or
the
as well, I should say.
pickaxe pogo a second time. Does get it.
Slightly faster this time. Practice makes perfect.
It does. He's taking it very slowly. Not going to die a second time.
He doesn't want to set up the shade skip. I'm not sure what. I guess Yote wants
also-
to be healing here.
Yote also opening the legendary Soul Sanctum bench.
Yeah, I'd imagine that he just wants it for healing at this point.
Yeah, he could have bought Elegant Key. He didn't. So, I don't know. He's also doing this arena now, too.
It seems like Axe is not going to check deep focus.
I don't know what Axe is doing then, right? He can't check anything this way. The best he
No,
could
I don't
get
think
is
so
a Pale
either.
War, which he can't even get that because he doesn't have Claw.
He might be trying to go for the Descending Dark check.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of that is this direction.
This is the strangest way to check Descending Dark I can imagine.
Yeah, but it's the only thing I can think of that he's heading towards. Unless he's mistaken and thinks he can get this chest.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed. This is one of the totally claw-blocked items. Cannot even shade skip to it.
Yeah, there's zero things to poke off of. Which he is about to learn.
Yep, we're gonna see Ax2u a lot
A
of
little frustrated dance.
useless jumps. Now we're gonna get to see the 1 HP Dark Room to Descending Dark. Which I'm sure was Axe's plan all along. He just wanted to be able to show this off with maximum swag.
Yeah. That's why he's healing, of course. Meanwhile, I'm not entirely sure what Yote is going for at the moment. The simple key, probably, but
Why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Waterways. I would not be surprised at all to see Dream Nail in Waterways at this point, but I would. If our runners are going to check it, then I'd like to see them be a little more decisive.
Yote just quitting out instead of, or Ax quitting out instead of continuing in the dark room. He was a 1 HP, so it was probably a good play, to be honest.
Interesting. This is going to be devastating for Ax. I don't foresee him returning to deep focus, which means that he's not
Yeah.
getting Crystal Heart or Isva's Tear at any point in the future. Which means that if Yote can figure out what happened to the bingo card and how to mark goals on it, this could be difficult for Ax to win.
Yeah.
That's very contingent though. Like I said, Yote has to discover the card. Dive is at Spell Twister.
And the second die is by
Dream
the
Gate.
900 Essence, so either
Yes.
way, they're going to need to
Dive
find a lot of stuff right.
Dive is extremely inaccessible. Alright, and Ax
I that Spell Twister there.
has finally, an hour and 15 minutes in, locked us into columns for our start.
He really wanted to avoid getting that top row, probably.
Now, is Yote going to go to Stack Nest? And also, why did Yote open the elevator? These are the great mysteries of the world.
Yote may have opened the elevator to
Right.
go for some gold, like
Yote might have
or something.
Yote probably
then-
opened it right before he saw Ax marking that goal. Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine that he just changed plans immediately afterwards.
Yep.
And
This
said,
is-
this is a faster way.
Time for a Cliffs play. Go to Cliffs. Good.
Finally.
Also, by Lantern, we'll get 2 checks, which will be really powerful.
Ax doing a little rain dance, I imagine.
Actually, with how deep Claw is, very good chance of finding that Dreamnail progression in Howling Cliffs right now. Those are 2 pretty strong items. Same thing with Abyss here. Oh, and Spell Twister behind Shopkeeper's Key. That is another reserve goal for Yote, which I don't think he
Yote
really
has 2
wanted.
reserve goals now, and he's locked into the left row. If I was Yote, I would definitely go for Stagnus now to
Yeah.
start freeing up some.
So, like-
and it looks like that's where he's heading. So
Yeah, and he should be careful to get Stag Nest first on this trip. That way, if one of the other random goals is at Cyclone Slash or Jonies, he won't lose that
he
forever.
won't lose them. But we'll see if he thinks of that.
But yeah, I would love to see Love Key after this, getting 4 goals across. Oh, and wow, Dive paying out huge for Ax. The fetch
For
quest
Ax here,
leading to
finding the
Dreamnail.
Dreamnail.
So
That
now
puts Ax in a very good position.
this is a huge split because Ax is never getting Claw and Yote may never get Dreamnail. So this could be a draw. It may be that our runners are not capable of finishing the seed. I'm just
we'll
saying.
have to see.
Yote gonna check Cyclone Slash first. This
I
is a
mean-
bad play, but
Can they actually draw this?
I mean, obviously not. I'm just saying that if Ax never checks Claw and Yote never gets Dive,
It's gonna take a while.
yeah. Vanilla Cyclone Slash. Best nail art in the game.
Vanilla is, after all, the tastiest of ice creams.
Ax going to rush 0. This is extremely painful for Yote.
Yeah, losing these goals on his home row is something that's gonna cost him a lot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he just never prioritized goals, and this is a consequence of that.
Yeah, really neither one has prioritized goals, but Ax managing to leverage that early advantage of finding the dash master and dash early to get a quick stag and therefore lock Yote into bad positions.
Yeah. But even once you're in a bad position, you still have to be prepared to act on it. You know?
Yeah. Yote finally starting to make progress into the board here.
Yote skipped Joni's Blessing. That irritates me a lot.
Yeah.
I don't
Especially with Crystal Dash.
I don't
making Yote
like he has no way to finish the seed without finding Dreamnail or Sprint Master. Well, he can't even finish with Sprint Master. He has to find Dreamnail.
Yeah, exactly. And he needs then to either go into Soul Sanctum or he needs to find the other copy of Dreamnail somewhere.
Also, Love Key right now would be like, at most, a 2-minute detour.
Yeah, because he does have Crystal Dash and Ace Mysteria. He could check. He has all the access he needs to Queen's Gardens. He could also check Shape of Un at this point if he wanted to.
He could. He could even check Great Slash. He could even, and this may surprise you because he might not have known it was available, but he can check Joni's Blessing too.
Yeah. He could even, although it's not gonna be able to be marked. But Yote seemingly loves reserve goals. He could go kill Watcher Knights.
Interesting. Spore Shroom. That is an item.
Unfortunately not in the cards. And picking up this Mask Fragment, that's a pretty hefty time loss there.
Yeah, if you're not getting the 6th mask, no reason to waste time on that.
Yeah, and there is no Mask goal on the card, so...
So this could finally be the Hornet 2 play that we've been waiting 90 minutes to get to.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Ax2u decided to finally lock himself into the right side of the board.
Maybe he just locked himself in by accident and he doesn't realize yet. Okay, Yote is buying Lantern, which he could have done before going to Glyphs, but he's doing it now.
And he's also buying the Elegant Key, so he has spent a lot of cash. Unfortunately, he can't mark the goal.
Ax not even checking Dash Slash or Quick Slash.
Yeah, I mean he does have die, so he could. But
it's worth noting that Ax may not need Claw to finish, since Yote has not done a very good job defending. There are a lot of easy goals still on the board.
Yeah, and with Ax having the Dreamnail and Yote not having the Dreamnail,
yeah, that's a
there's
huge,
so many goals that Ax could get.
A huge advantage for Ax, which will allow him to just keep going and going. You know, he could stay in go mode right now. He doesn't have to check items if he can prioritize goals, which is still up for debate.
But he's definitely going for the 1-2 play. Does he safety bench?
He does.
Seems like he wants to safety bench.
Very good idea. Well, this suggests that he will pick up King's Brand, which is very reasonable. Since obviously for all Ax knows, Claw is there.
He might also just not want to risk dying.
Yep, the only useful item that's outstanding is Dreamgate, the second Dreamnail copy. As far as progression goes, we're still missing, I believe, Deep Focus and Sprint Master and Mark of Pride.
Yeah, and they could be down in the Abyss.
They could. We could even have 2 of them there. We're also completely missing Waterways, so who knows what's in those 3 checks. Alright.
None of the players have either gone to Hive either, but that's only a single check, and it's a really long check too, so...
Mark of Pride.
Players don't want to do that.
Mark of Pride is eliminated. Found it at Great Slash. Ax will never find that. So that's good news for Yote.
Yeah, and he knows where Longnail is too, or he's seen Longnail. He might not remember it anymore.
Yeah, he ought
because
to
I think
remember
it was like 70 minutes ago he saw it or something. 90 minutes.
Well, I have to apologize now. Earlier I said that as a Hundo runner, Ax would be better at Hornet 2 than Watcher Knights. That does not appear to be factual.
I mean, we don't know. He might have died several times to Watcher Knights.
True, but he does have Nail 2, and Shaman Stone, and every spell.
Yote going for the Shape of Un play?
Makes
I'm liking
sense.
this because he has Crystal Dash.
Right, while
so
he's...
he can get there really fast.
Like, if you're going to check, Great Slash, you should check Shape of Un too. That way you don't have to stack here twice.
Yeah, exactly. And with Crystal Dash, this is a much faster check.
It is, for sure. This is another check which Ax will never make. Ax also taking a lot of damage on a second try.
Can't tell if he wanted to try the lockdown strat or not.
I think that he did, but didn't know it at all, so that was the result. Fortunately, with Yote, it's a very fast fight, so...
Yeah, not to mention, he does have Shade Cloak, which you normally don't in this fight, so...
A ton of
help there.
Geo at Mantis Lords, but not much else.
Yeah, Chipperboon.
Okay, Axe marking Spell Twister.
And Hornet too. So that means that it's no longer a reserve goal for Yote. Yote has got to go find another reserve goal
Wait,
now.
what? Okay, I'm sorry. I was blind. I couldn't see it on his tracker. I wasn't sure if Axe had actually bought it, but... Yep, that's annoying for Yote. Because he made that green path check instead of prioritizing column 3, he lost another goal.
Yeah.
Axe is up 7-2, even though Axe only had one goal, even an hour into the seed. That's...
Yeah, because Axe has finally started prioritizing getting goals, it seems.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not the worst choice at this point.
No, it's absolutely the right place in Axe's position. There's too many places where Claw could be to search for it.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't need Claw. If he
Yeah.
can get the goals before Yote does, then he can still win without Claw.
Yeah, and Yote is still very far away from getting Dream Nail. He has to
Looks
full
like
clear...
Yote is deciding to check Soul Sanctum though,
Yote,
finally.
Yote will have to full clear Soul Sanctum and then revisit Resting Grounds in order to get Dream Nail. Unless he checks a new area, like Waterways or something.
I mean, he could find another copy of Dream Nail here. It's unlikely, but if it happens...
Oh, yeah, at Shadesoul, true. That would be huge if the other one were here at Shadesoul.
It might come in clutch. We'll have to see.
I have very limited faith in the Shadesoul pickup. With good reason. Fragile Heart, one of the best charms, but not what Yote needs to find at all.
Yeah, it's not useful for him at this point in the race.
No.
In the slightest. Meanwhile, it seems like Axe is going to give us a view of Quick Slash.
Yep. This is
You can
gonna be
find it
something
moving
new.
around.
The only big thing we could really learn from this is Sprint Master Deep Focus, or if Yote is completely dive locked out of the other copy of Dream Nail. Those are the big questions we're missing.
But Yote is going to Soul Sanctum, so he's going to have dive soon enough.
Yeah, fortunately dive is not going to be a major divide between our runners for much longer.
Yeah. And Yote does have a claw, so he can go through Soul Sanctum much faster than Axe did.
That's true, he won't have 3 quit-outs like Axe did. Meanwhile, Axe is struggling here.
With the Primal Aspects, the great enemy of Hollow Knight players anywhere.
And he gets one of the worst charms in the game, Grubberfly Elegy. Overrides your nail damage with less nail damage. Everyone's favorite.
It does have an interesting use against Radiance. Because against Radiance, it doesn't actually override your base nail damage. So you get both the Grubberfly damage and your normal nail damage.
Yeah, but
if you're inside the Radiance when you strike her.
It may be just that it's a very inconsistent charm then. Just in the sense that it's not coded well to do what it should do to every enemy.
Yeah, that could be possible.
Or it could be a current patch thing too. I don't know. Axe getting out.
Yote going to the scary room of Soul Sanctum. Deciding to blast all 3 of them at once instead.
Alright, he's about to get his dive here. A death at Spell Twister would be very good. Unless he went back in. So, probably shouldn't hope for a death at Spell Twister. Well, we got a death at Spell Twister. It was
and without even checking the dive.
A little bit early, I should say, for the Death Warp.
Yeah, this, unfortunate.
I mean, that was the Galaxy Brain play. He just didn't check the item when he was supposed to.
Axe, meanwhile, buying himself a map, so maybe he's deciding to go for the 6 maps objective.
I mean, that's the next obvious goal for him in
Yeah, I
Column
mean,
3. It'll
the
be
other
very...
options either need like Isma's Tear and Crystal Heart, which I mean he doesn't know that Yoda's found that. Upgrading Grimchild requires Dream Nail, which we know
So,
that's far away.
this is a good moment to talk about how Ax can finish this without any more item checks. 2 simple keys and Watcher Knights are on the board. Gome and Garpede is accessible. 6 maps, very easy. Soul Tyrant. That gets him 5 more goals. He has 7 right
Lurian
now.
combos nicely with Watcher Knights.
Well, you can't do Lurian without Claw. So,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ax can finish with a pattern like this. Probably wouldn't take more than 30
I
minutes
would
or so.
say collect 500 essence rather than no ice, since if he does Soul Tyrant, he's gonna basically have 100 essence left.
True.
So it would probably be faster to do that.
Well, what other Dream Warrior would you do, Gorb?
Elder Who?
I don't think Elder Who is faster than No Eyes.
Might not. It depends if he has to buy the lantern or not.
True.
Because Axe doesn't have the lantern yet.
Okay, back to Soulmaster now, with Dive in hand.
But he does have a Shade Cloak, or a Shade Soul, so
Yep, this
it's
is
gonna
fast.
be a lot faster.
Faster, but the death kind of erases any time save he could have hoped for.
True. Meanwhile, it seems like Yote's or Axe is clearing out Forgotten Crossroads.
Getting the grubs, which is not a good decision when you don't have Crystal Heart. And in fact, Crystal Heart is actually claw blocked. Or he's gonna
He
buy...
might have just gone for the reward.
Not going to buy Elegant Key, so he does feel like he's in go mode.
It looks like he's actually aiming to get the Lumafly Lantern for no ice.
Huh. Well, he's a long ways away from being able to get No Eyes, so mark the goal at least.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but he looked like he was eyeing it for a moment.
I think he wants maps, and I think he's indecisive about which ones to get. Let's see, in the shop, he has 5, I think, or 4.
Yeah, and he bought one from Kingdom's Edge, so he still needs one more. Because the Kingdom's Edge map was the first map he got. We know this because he got the acquired a map screen.
Right. Yep, has 5 maps in the inventory. Dirtmouth does not count. You do not buy that map.
Yote not getting the fake dive, but Yote doing the quick strat to get this grub instead.
Yeah, good to see. This is an important goal. For Yote, though frankly every goal is important as Axe continues to build up a lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more goals Axe gets, the more likely it is that Yote will have to full clear everything else, which will be...
Yeah, and Yote has left this maps goal up for so long too.
Yeah, Yote has not done his diligence on column 3. The problem that builds is that we're going to end up at a point where the only way for Yote to win is for him to snipe Grimchild from Axe or something like that.
And getting Grimchild fast is still really slow.
It's not possible. There is no such thing as upgrade Grimchild quickly. There is upgrade Grimchild slowly or more slowly.
It seems like Axe might actually be going for the Howling Wraiths.
Possible.
Since he is back in Fog Canyon, and I don't see what else he'd be doing here.
Yeah, he didn't buy Lantern, so he can't fight No Eyes.
Oh, of course, he's going for the map.
What? The Fog Canyon map? But that's one of the most expensive maps. He didn't have
Well, what
Fungal
else is
either,
it?
right? I thought he didn't have Fungal Wastes.
I think he bought Fungal Wastes. Not sure, but
Huh.
it definitely looks like he's going for the map.
Well, this is
actually-
a strange choice.
Yeah, but I actually do like the awareness that he's got Shade Cloak, and the map is gated by Shade Cloak.
Uh-oh. Axe is gonna really struggle to get up there now.
Yeah,
This is...
without that pogo there.
Oh no.
Oh, never mind.
I was thinking about it the wrong way. This is hard to get to without wings, not without claw.
Yeah, he did go for the map. I actually kind of like that.
That's a decision you could make.
Yeah, I mean, there are better maps you could have gotten, but of all the maps you could have gotten, I like this one from the kind of. It's an interesting map to get, you know.
Also, I just feel forced to point this out. Yoda's investing a ton of time into reserving a goal that he can't mark.
Yeah, Yote really enjoys these reserve goals. I guess when he lost the Spell Twister plus Shaman Stone reserve goal, he decided he needed a new one.
I feel like this has been kind of a pattern from both racers where they have wanted to do these really cutesy kind of I mark or I get a reserve goal and then I mark a goal allowing me to unlock it combo kind of thing, which we've seen multiple times now.
Yeah.
That's usually a bad play though, because usually you want to
Yeah, the thing I really see is that it seems like they're going out of their way to get reserve goals.
Right,
If you get a reserve goal on your way, that's fine.
Right, that's what I was trying to search for. Like, wasting time on, or accidentally getting a reserve goal is fine. Getting a reserve goal when it would take a lot of time to come back for it is fine. Going out of your way to get a reserve goal before a goal you can mark is not fine. Because that's running up a huge risk of getting sniped. And in fact, Yote has been sniped repeatedly because of it.
Yeah. And the only fact that, or the only reason Ax hasn't been sniped a lot is mostly because Yote just hasn't been going for goals.
Yeah.
Ax finally finding that Shade Soul. Unfortunately, he can't actually mark that.
Yep, Ax maybe trying to figure out if he could get Love Key right now. I don't know what he was thinking, but no reason to walk out of... No, he can't. Not at all.
No, he needs either Crystal Dash or Isma's Tear for that, and he hits neither of those.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think both of those were over in Crystal Peaks. Let's see here. Where was Isma's Tear? I think that was a Crystal Dash, was it not?
What was that, Crystal Heart? Or...
Yeah,
the three items that Ax hasn't gotten, aside from Descending Dark, are Mantis Claw, Crystal Heart, and Isma's Tear.
Yeah, exactly. But where was the Tear?
That was at Crystal Heart.
Yeah, okay. So like I thought then. Yeah, so the Ax, if he wants to get movement items, he basically has to go back to Crystal Peak.
Yeah. There's no situation, though, where Defocus isn't the first of those three that he checks.
Yeah.
Alright.
Getting the claw really kind of locked the rest of them.
Yote finally making this play. I feel like he found Claw 20 minutes ago, maybe more. And all of those items which would have allowed him to do this.
I feel like it's been about half an hour that he's had the claw. Yoda's had his items for so long, he just hasn't been going for goals, or at least not effectively going for goals for so long.
Yeah. Like, he got reserve goals, but then he didn't do anything to allow himself to mark it. He checked all the green path items instead.
Yeah, and he's got the damage too. Like, Yoda has everything going for him in the seed, and he's just not using it.
Yeah, it's a strategy issue here, more than anything else. It's not... It isn't really movement either. He's done a very good job, actually, of using Crystal Heart effectively.
Yeah, it's just overall macro decision making.
Yeah. Oh well. Not much to be done about it.
Meanwhile, Ax is going for that Soul Time play.
Okay, this will be a big time loss by Ax. Not time loss,
Interesting
really. Time
way
sink.
of getting up.
Curious, I didn't know that was an up transition. A lot of times you get one of those and it's only a downward.
I did not know that either. But,
very impressive by Ax, nonetheless.
I wonder if that cannot be implemented in the 112 routing. Questions for later.
Questions for later.
Meanwhile,
okay.
Yote getting that love key, so he's also marked the 5 grubs in City of Tears.
Yep, I would love to see Yote go get a column 5 goal now. Preferably Watcher Knight, since he has good synergy for that.
But I think this means that Ax has to find Mantis Claw at this point.
No, because I didn't mark 5 grubs before.
Oh,
That's claw blocked anyways.
right. Never mind though. But
Yep.
if
If Yote
Yote goes
snipes,
by it, steals a goal here.
yep. If Yote steals a column 5 goal, then that will do the trick. It looks like he's gonna
Well,
steal simple keys, which is probably good.
not a bad idea. It's one of the faster goals to steal.
Whoops. Oh my.
And Yote has access to the all grubs goal in the 5th column as well. Which is something that Ax does not have access to. So we could still see the comeback from Yote.
Yes, I love leaving the Fog Canyon grub goal open because it forces Ax to waste time searching. Don't use your advantage. Make it your opponent's disadvantage.
Exactly, because Ax has shown no indications that he's got Crystal Dash. Because
Exactly. You would expect to see that him go for Milo right now if he did have it.
Yeah.
Possibly going to see a waterways check from Yote next. This is no Watcher Knights, or no, never mind.
He's probably going for the simple keys first.
Yep, he tricked me with his elevator crystal dash, which is a very swag play actually.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's I don't even know how much time it saves, but it looks pretty cool.
Monsta is asking if it's possible to upgrade Grim without Crystal Heart and Claw. It requires Crystal Heart. It does not require Claw. However, it is extraordinarily difficult without Claw, and I do mean extraordinarily difficult. We're talking infiltrating cliffs without Claw, then doing the Crystal Heart across to get over the elevator into Crystal Peak from the left, then doing an extremely difficult shade skip. And I mean extremely difficult to get to the Grimkin.
Yeah,
it's impossible to get to it from the right without Crystal Heart.
So it's not really RTA viable at the moment.
Yeah, and of course there's a way to get to it from the left without Crystal Heart, which uses wall storage, and so it's not allowed in NMG.
And Yote is doing a waterways check. I'm not actually sure I agree with this. I think it would be better to go for golds.
Well, Yote needs something to open up a new line, so he has to do checks right now.
That's true.
Going for goals right now would just waste time and risk getting sniped. He needs to find his dream nail as soon as possible.
That is true.
And if this is Sprint Master
Sprint
too,
Master.
it would be huge.
Yeah. So he's gonna fight the Happy Man here?
Yep, and hopefully go to Resting Grounds shortly afterwards, or find Dreamgate. Either one.
One of my favorite songs that we don't listen to in 100% runs, because it's faster to skip it. Like when you do the intro skip, or his scream skip, it bypasses the trigger that starts his song, so we don't ever hear it.
Interesting that both racers are in Crystal Waterways right now at the same time.
Yeah, we'll see if one or both of them find something useful.
Yote does have the Isma steer check, which Ax does not really have.
Yeah.
I think actually it should be a logic for Ax, with the edit I made, but assuming you open the Dung Defender lever, we'll see if Ax goes for that. Obviously, he won't have to in this seed, since all the real progression items have already been found.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, since Yote did take that simple keys goal, is Ax now in a position where he needs to claw? Or can he still do this?
Monsta said in chat that Ax will need Claw, so I'm inclined to believe him.
Yeah, I imagine that he needs claw at this point.
Weaver song.
And we know that claw is by deep focus, which Ax skipped out on earlier, so he's not likely to go back there in at least some time.
Okay, this is good from Yote. He seems to be heading back to the stag. As long as Yote goes... Sorry. Never mind.
Yote might be aiming for another reserve goal.
I think that he's checking his Vestir right now and he's farming soul for it to do it with full health. That's my guess.
Yeah, it seems to be the case, since he's returning back now.
Mark of Pride is claw blocked, it's that Great Slash. Yote has Crystal Hurt, he can do the easy version. But he could also do the hard version.
He does pull it off.
Yeah,
so.
did it very well second try, so who am I to judge?
Yeah. I give him a small applause, but and since he has his Vestir, this is actually very quick for him to check.
Yeah, this is a very fast check, and one which Ax won't make, so...
If he wants to, he could get another grub here. It would be a complete waste of time, but he could.
Great Slash, that's terrible.
Not useful in the slightest.
Guessing Sprintmaster probably... I don't know, all that's left is Seed Nest or Abyss, so it wouldn't be much... Wouldn't be much for me to guess. Also missing Descending Dark.
Can Dream Nails spawn at Nailmaster's Glory?
The age-old Can Nailmaster's Glory be progression? I don't think anyone knows. It's a great mystery.
Yeah, because I was thinking, he's found 2 of the 3 nail arts. It could be possible that finding the 3 nail arts and getting Dream Nails Nailmaster's Glory is an option.
Surely he would check Resting Grounds before then, though.
I mean, you'd hope, but...
Yeah, he hasn't checked it so far, right? He also hasn't been back to a stack, though.
He's looking like he's gonna go check Monarch Wings instead. Which is one of the longer checks, too. I mean,
yeah,
he's already in the region, I suppose, but...
Right. This check, to me, I like to make it when I want to get a simple key. It's much weaker without it.
Ax having some difficulty with Dung Defender.
Struggling with Dung Defender. But he gets a double and survives.
I'm not sure if I like the idea of benching down here for Yote. I mean, he does have wings and claws, so he can get the...
Yeah, and it's very possible that I'll have to come back to Abyss for randomized goals later, but Ax will have a huge advantage over him in that case anyways.
And part of why I don't like this is because this is a really long check, but he could get 2 quicker checks in Resting Grounds at any point.
He could get a lot of quicker checks. We still haven't... No, we did see Glory, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we know that Resting Grounds is a valuable check. He doesn't, but like it's still more value than going here, I think.
Right. We're also missing Descending Dark, which he could check.
Well, we know where Descending Dark is. Or no, you mean the item location.
All of Deep Nest, which is much faster than Monarch Wings. Not trying to even advocate for Deep Nest, because it's a bad play for both runners, but...
there's nothing in Deep Nest for them at this point.
Well, we're still missing 2 of our goals, right? So, either of those could be there, with the 3 items they have access to. Plus Hive Blood.
You're opening this shortcut in case he dies here.
That bothers me too. I feel like if you make this play, you should have absolute confidence in yourself. It's just such an awful play if you have to die first.
Yeah.
But oh well, that's enough ragging on it because it's Rando, so every location has the potential to be big. If this is Sprintmaster, it will be huge for you. Since he
it is true, because it will unlock more options for him.
Hiding in the corner does not work on Broken Vessel. I don't know why people go for it.
Sorry, I didn't catch it. What didn't work?
Hiding in the corner never works.
If he's far enough away, then it works, but that's more due to the range limitation than anything.
That's true, but you have to keep in mind that he starts that attack by jumping towards the center, so...
Yeah, it's really awkward to get the hiding spot properly.
Yeah, the easiest way to handle the fight is to just dive through it. Also, I question why he isn't healing. Good. Alright, looks like Ax is going to go for Watcher Knights.
Finally.
Yeah, this is good. This'll good for Ax. This will make it much harder for you to well, not
Over
much
an hour
harder.
late, but he's finally getting it.
Yeah, this actually isn't very important for Yote because Yote can't open up 3 lines anyways that far without already winning, and the Crossroads Grub goal is basically guaranteed for him.
Yeah.
And this is even better for Yote actually because it's bad route for Ax. It's this makes coming back for Lurian later harder.
Yeah.
Or at least
and,
slower.
Yote killing broken vessels, so we'll see if this is one of the Dreammill copies or if it's just a trash item.
You're gonna get your Nailmaster's Glory Wish.
Yeah, I guess this is a Nailmaster seed.
I mean, it could very easily be one of the two random turns we're looking for. Could also maybe be Dreamgate. The jury's still out on that.
Ax making pretty short work of these Watcher Knights with his Nail 2 and Shade Soul. He does have the equipment to make this into an easy fight. I would like to say, but he's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, this fight should be trivial with what he has.
I was about to say he didn't go for the free kill with the Chandelier, but he doesn't have Claw, so he can't actually go for that.
Yeah, does have to fight all 6 without Claw. Okay, Yote. Looks like he's gotta check Nailmaster first.
Yeah, I would really like to see it if Joe checked Nailmaster's Glory and it wasn't anything useful if he went to Resting Grounds.
I
Because
feel like
again,
he's gotta check Jonies and get Grimchild.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
He can't get Grimchild because he doesn't have the Dream Nail.
Oh yeah. Then hopefully he'll stay out of Howling Cliffs. Ax getting this awful respawn on that. Oh no, never mind.
Ax
I,
is the
I was
ultimate
I
for
was
this
thinking
game.
in 1-2-2-1 where this room doesn't have hazard checkpoints. So if you hit those spikes you end up all the way back up at the transition to Lurian's room.
I would really like to see it if Yote went for the Resting Grounds now, because again, that's 2 quick checks.
It's
and
very
he's right next to the stag.
very possible he could be doing it now.
I really hope he is. I'm not sure if that Crystal Dash is actually faster or not.
Yes, this is great for him.
He's finally going to find, which means that he can finally start getting Dream Nail goals. No Eyes collecting Fire Essence, Lurian. Once he gets Dream Nail, this board is going to open up for him. It's just a shame it's so late.
Yeah, but this could be a very close finish as Yote is able to mark a lot of goals and Ax is still searching for Claw.
Yeah. Not to mention, if Yote actually gets the Fire Essence, he can get the Long Nail. Which
He
means
can.
that he would definitely force
right.
Yote into Claw.
And 500 Essence is basically a required goal for Yote to win here.
Yeah, for Yote at least.
Yeah. Ax won't be getting that, I don't think.
Ax is actually pretty close to it already.
That's true, actually, and he can mark it in this position. So, yeah. Ax could even go for No Eyes.
So at this point, what I'd like to see from Yote is him going completely ham on goals.
Yeah, Yote doesn't even have anything to find now, other than the random charms. He should focus on goals.
Yeah, and going for random charm checks at this point is a big mistake, I feel, from Yote.
Yeah, wherever they are, it's probably in a location that favors Ax right now. Go to No Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, No Eyes.
We could see a race to No Eyes here. No,
Yeah,
Ax is not interested. We guys see an Abyss check?
Ax does not have the lantern, so he can't even check No Eyes.
Oh, maybe he wants Geo then. That's gotta be some Geo mismanagement from Ax to not be able to afford it here. He spent 5,000.
Yeah, he might be going to sell a relic to get No Eyes.
Nope. I think we're gonna see Abyss.
To Isma's here? Or...
Remember, Isma's tier would be annoying for him to check right now. He would have to do the intended strat,
Yeah.
which is in logic. he might not
might
know
just be
it though.
going for Monarch Wings.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize that the intended strat with the spike tunnel skip is in logic. It's very rare for it to matter.
Yeah. But if Ax goes for Monarch Wings here, he could get Lost Kin and lock in the 500 Essence gold.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Lost Skin would be a very slow way to get 500 Essence.
Yeah, but he's already on his way there.
True. We'll see what he goes for.
I think like at the point where you're already at Lost Kin, it's probably faster to do Lost Kin than go off and do another guy.
And Ax may be hesitant to do Dream Warriors with Nail 2. Like I said before, it's not a huge difference, but people tend to overthink it a bit.
Yeah.
Like, No Eyes doesn't even have double health with Nail 2.
Oh yeah, and since Yote never actually did upgrade his nail, this is actually going to be sort of fast for him.
Yeah, Shade Soul should make this pretty fast as long as he doesn't miss too much. And can...
I mean, with all these heads, No Ice is already close to dying.
She should be, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yote, yep. Unfortunately, he just wasn't doing a good job of dodging at all.
So that's unfortunate. That's going to cost him a lot of time.
Yep, Yote can't afford to make mistakes at this point. He needs everything to go well to make up a 5 gold deficit. I feel like, too, I have seen this same scenario play out before with Yote in a tournament race where he got to the end and died to No Eyes.
Ax is really struggling as well with getting his way to Lost Kin.
Yes, this is strange. This is not very difficult.
He does lack the super dash, so...
I mean, yeah, but he has Shade Cloak.
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't be this difficult for him, but...
Nail 2 does...
He needs to kill this artillery unit. He's...
Oh.
I mean, this...
That is awful for Ax. The bench doesn't
Yeah.
save either, because I don't think he took it, but... Because...
No, he didn't want to take it. I imagine he might have wanted to
Well,
save more battles.
without Tram Pass, that bench won't save for him. Since it
But
would
yeah,
be
he
a
doesn't
hard
have
luck.
full either. So this actually... Both players dying and losing time, but I think overall it works out better for Yote.
Yeah, Yote's death is much easier to recover from.
Yeah. So like, at the position where Ax was, with the, whatever they're called, Shadow Tick, with that being so far down, it was almost better for him to just try and kill the artillery piece instead of trying to pogo over and over. Imagine Yote is wanting to get some soul for No Ice.
Yeah, Yote's gonna farm with Dream Nail here.
It's probably a good decision to
It's
be
a
honest.
little hard to
but
do it, the timing.
yeah, this guy is really difficult to farm soul off of. Especially if you turn the wrong way.
Yes. Facing away from him, not the optimal soul farming strategy.
But with that, Yote has full soul, and he's back to No Ice. And Ax, again, skipping the bench.
Yeah, I wish that Yote would be a little bit more careful with his Shade Souls, not to waste soul on her. You know, make sure that she's going to get hit by them, and that she didn't warp from the first one.
Yeah. Shooting off your Shade Souls that fast, it's kind of what you want to do in a speedrun. Usually, because I mean,
even in a speed run, that's giving up the chance to get doubles. You can't get doubles back to back that way. So
yeah, but like not or words are failing at the moment. Whatever. With that said, Yote killing No Ice is
yep,
this is gonna mark his way onto the board now.
This is the start of his comeback.
Yeah, and Ax again not killing this giant artillery piece, so he's taking even more damage again.
Let's see. I'd kind of like to see
At this point, I'd almost go for killing
Uh,
Myla just to start getting across the board.
yeah, Milo's not super important. Yote desperately needs the essence right now more than anything else. Because that's 2 goals for him.
Um, yeah, that's true, and he doesn't know how close Ax is to getting that 500 essence goal.
Unfortunately, Yote is really indecisive here. We may see him go for Lostkin too. Or Lurian, possibly.
Yote does not have a long time to come back to Lostkin though, since he's opened the stag station and all. And
Well,
if Ax dies
Ax
here,
could
ooh,
die. I mean, I don't think Ax is guaranteed to survive the Lostkin fight.
no,
Oh,
but
maybe we're gonna
he
see
barely
Markov.
pulled it off.
I think that this is a Markov play.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Markov is a very fast Dream Warrior in this situation. This will give him 450 essence, and he can finish with 0. Is the fastest. Whispering Roots probably aren't faster than that.
Yeah, he could. It would probably not be a bad choice. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate that that Axe is so close to getting Fire Essence as well.
Well, just keep in mind, Yote has to get 500 essence for Long Nail anyways, so
This is true.
he should not give up on this, even if Axe defeats Luskin.
This is true.
Yote has no path to victory without Long Nail, the goal. Axe, meanwhile, seems to be much better equipped to handle Luskin than Broken Vessel. So
Yeah, I've actually found myself that Broken Vessel's slower speed sort of throws me off.
it can definitely be hard, yeah.
Yeah, Axe clearing Lost Kin without even taking damage.
Very impressive, though of course Axe was well over-equipped for that fight.
With Nail 2 and Shade Soul and Shaman Stone, he has so much damage.
Unfortunately, if Yote just hadn't taken that death to no eyes, he could get
Yeah,
this
he
goal.
could have gotten a Fire and Essence goal as well.
Instead, Axe is about to advance to an 11-6 lead. This means
Yeah.
Yote cannot afford to give up more than 1 goal to Axe. It's going to be almost impossible for him to keep that.
And this means that Yote does need to find Sprint Master.
That is true.
Which means he's gonna need to start doing random item checks again.
Well, I think that Yote has to lock up the remaining goals here.
Yeah, of course. Like, my point is more, he needs to do item checks again at some point.
Where
Going
on
for
earth?
goals is still probably the better option at this point, just to make sure that Axe doesn't win immediately.
Yote is having some serious. Okay, he's going for Mila. That's it. I was thinking he was going for Grubs. I was gonna say that is a real order of operations mistake here. But Grubs is fine. Hey, Mila is fine.
Mila is probably a good decision at this point to make sure that because Axe has the 500 essence goal at this point, Yote doesn't need to rush for that anymore. So he can kill Mila, then get the essence from 0, and then get the Long Nail and Market Pride goal.
Right. The big issue for Yote in this scenario is Lurian. That's a goal that's gonna be hard for him to get before Axe, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was Yote, I would probably try to go for the Long Nail into the Government Garpede entry and then the Fog Canyon grab.
Yeah.
Just to try and deny those from.
Yeah, Gomen Garpede needs to be a priority for Yote.
Yeah.
In terms of strategy, he needs to try to get to that goal before Axe does.
Yeah, and at this point, it's been so long that you can't assume that Axe does not have Crystal Dash anymore.
Right.
I mean, we know he doesn't, but you can't assume that. It's been like 1.5 hours or something, or like 1 hour since Yote found the Crystal Dash.
I wonder though, which do you think would be more likely to take longer? For Axe to get Grimchild after checking, to upgrade Grimchild after checking Crystal Peak, or to find Mark of Pride at Great Slash? So that's a interesting strategic question for Yote to have to think about. Obviously, he's going for Long Nail since he has much more progress towards it.
I mean, Yoda's gonna get the Long Nail and Mark of Pride right now, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Yote had the option before committing to this play of upgrading Grimchild instead, and hoping that Ax just couldn't find Mark of Pride.
Oh, right. Yeah, now I see what you mean.
But that's such a big guaranteed time investment for Grimchild for a chance
Yeah.
of your opponent getting stumped. I don't think it's worth it.
Well, I don't know. At this point, Yote's very, very behind. I think I would go for the Grimchild play and like take the gamble. You know that I'm gonna be able to win because Ax is not gonna be checking the right place. You know, I think I'd take the gamble because at this point you really need to luck out to win if you're Yote.
Yeah. I think that Yote will be very well served if he goes into Deep Nest right now. Obviously, he won't be able to snipe Gome and Garpede at this point. Ax has just made much more progress. But there are 3 items in Deep Nest, and he needs those items in order to finish.
Yeah, like
If they're in Abyss, he's already lost. He has to go to
Deep Nest is
right
one of
now.
the few places that we haven't still checked, so they could easily find both Sprint Master and Deep Focus there.
I don't like doing the Gome entry first. Do the Garpede entry first, check the items, be hesitant, expecting to get sniped on this goal.
Yeah, it seems like Yote is trying to go for the journal, which
The
I
journal,
think is...
the journal is the last component you get. You get
this
Garpede,
is a big
then
mistake from
Gome.
Yote, I feel.
Yeah, Garpede, then Gome, then journal. The really bad thing about this is that he's going to see Ax snipe him after he's invested a lot of progress into this.
I think he's actually going for Grimchild?
Yeah, Grimchild and Joni, not a bad decision. Obviously,
He's
Joni
gambling
can
on
still be
Joni being
huge.
useful?
If it's Sprint Master, that'll be very nice. That'll get
Yeah.
let him go get Lurian, which will be big for stopping Ax from making huge progress off of the Crystal Peak play.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna need to get Grimchild at some point anyway.
Yeah, Grimchild eventually is required for Yote to win. We know.
Yeah, but I do think that the Deep Nest check might be better here anyway, because it's 3 items instead of 1 item.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, right? A lot of it is very order intensive. Like, I feel like Yote should either try to snipe Gome Garpede or shouldn't. I think that he's well served by not making an attempt on that goal, because Ax has probably made progress on it.
Yeah.
Use the advantages he knows he has, rather than the ones.
Unfortunately, it seems like something that's to his disadvantage is he doesn't know where the entry to Grimchild is?
Well,
or is he going for Joni's first?
Looks like he's going to do Joni's first.
I feel like Joni's first is a mistake.
I think this is slower, but not substantially.
Yeah,
Hopefully...
but with the position of the board right now, almost every second counts. Oh, and right, Ax actually needs to do the Shade Skip to get to Sports Room.
Yeah, doesn't need to do the Shade Skip, but he may not be able to do it without the Shade Skip. Yote using a very damage tank heavy strat for this room. I hate it.
I am not comfortable with the amount of damage he's taken. And apparently neither is Yote, which means he's losing all the time gain from that strat because he's needing to stand down and heal.
Yeah, no reason to do the Crystal Heart Dash if you're going to heal afterwards.
But I guess we'll see if Jonas is something really good.
And it was Dreamnail. Oh my god.
Oh, if
Remember,
he had checked that earlier.
Yote checked Dreamnail like literally half an hour after he visited Cliffs.
Yeah, he could have had Dreamnail. That is really unfortunate.
This is just an unacceptable mistake for Yote to have made. It's going to be really hard for him to win.
Yeah. That
like,
is,
he didn't even have to know the Dark Room. He had 4,000 Geo when he checked Cliffs.
Yeah, and Crystal Dash. You can just dash through the Dark Room.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Dark Room wasn't even forced. Like, he could have bought Lantern on his way up. And he bought Lantern immediately after quitting out of Cliffs anyways.
Yeah. Luckily, Ax... Oh, never mind. I was about to say that Ax was struggling with the Shade Skip.
Struggling quite a bit with the Shade Skip.
And to top it off, Yote didn't even get Grimchild.
Oh,
So he's gonna need to go back.
yeah, that was just a terrible play all the way around, wasn't it? That's unfortunate for Yote.
Yeah, that might just cost him. I wouldn't say the race because he's already quite behind in that regard,
Yeah,
but
I think the race losing play was not checking Johnny's in light of what we now know.
yeah. But
Also,
that's definitely gonna cost him some goals.
also the failure during the hour of lack of competition from Max to lock in Bro 5.
Oh yeah, that too. Like,
That was also a big losing play, but maybe less so. I think he still could have won with this column combination.
yeah. So the hope here, from my
Ax,
perspective at least, is that Yote is gonna be checking items and not go for the Garpede entry.
yeah. Well, he could check Sharp Shadow still, and grab the entry on the way just in case. But you'll see that
True.
it's sniped very quickly. The good news for Yote here is that Ax doesn't have Lantern.
Yeah, so Ax is gonna have difficulty navigating.
Yeah, in fact, Ax is probably just going to quit out after the Garpede entry. Probably check
Yeah,
Sharp
and
Shadow.
Axe has the upgraded nail, right? So if there is a required item by the Weaver's Den chest, Axe is gonna have a real difficulty getting it because he doesn't have claw still.
Yeah, but he probably won't check Deep Mass before Crystal Peak. That's unlikely.
Probably not.
Like, Yoda's really on borrowed time here.
Yeah.
Interesting order. I really hope he doesn't get Trampass first. I love
Yeah.
Trampass, but the Hive play will not allow him to win, even if it's a required item.
I mean, I'm finding it difficult. At this point, I would say that this is Axe's game to lose anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a situation in which Ax loses. The biggest components would have been, well, first, number one, Yote has to find both Sprint Master and Deep Focus immediately, and instead he's going for Trampus.
Yeah.
Never
Not
mind.
to mention.
But after he finds those, he has to immediately transition into getting Lurian, Grandchild, and Grubs before Axe checks Crystal Peak. That's possible, but that requires like Axe making the Abyss play next.
Which he might actually, because he does have it brown.
Oh, Axe benched here. This is good for Yote.
Yote also benched there though.
Yeah, but Yote needs to check these items. Every minute that Axe is not in Crystal Peak is a minute of lifeline for Yote.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
Yote using the quick way of checking this.
the way this race is. It's just GL. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But Yote is still doing good use of that of
Alright.
the damage boost. I was
Yote-
gonna say Crystal Dash.
Deep Focus was the item Yote needed to find, because that was the one which, no, Axe couldn't have marked that anyways.
That
Yeah.
is still a lucky find though.
Yeah, actually, Yote, basically, this is going to come down to when Axe visits Crystal Peak. Right now, Yote should lock up the 3 static goals, and hope that he finds Sprint Master first afterwards.
I think I think the only positions where Sprint Master can be at the moment is Hive Blood or Abyss.
Abyss, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
So
that's all
gonna
we're
be
missing.
Really rough
That's-
for him to find.
That is a 2 out of 3 for Axe. I feel
Not to mention that Yote does not seem to go for Trampass.
the best scenario for Yote right now is Axe dies in this dark room twice. That is a way in which Yote wins, I think.
Yeah. And again, that comes down to Axe making a misplay, so...
Right, Axe should not
That's
have
his
benched
game.
here. Axe did not need to bench here. Axe should have checked Crystal Peak a billion years ago.
Yeah.
Of course, it might be that Axe doesn't know how to do Deep Focus, which would also be great for Yote. Because then Axe won't win. Well, the only way for Axe to escape right now is to get Tram Pass or go up to Failed Tramway and take the shortcut out. Actually, I don't even know if he can escape that way.
Yeah, and something that's really disappointing to me right now is that Yote has Dreamgate.
Yes, and he hasn't used it.
No, not a single time. And this deepness is actually a really good place in a randomizer to use a dream gate.
Yeah, let's you use this bench here and get back to a stag, or vice versa. Very handy. Looks like Ax wants out. Unfortunately, because he benched, he's stuck.
Yeah, he needs to go. He needs to either climb up manually, or he needs to go get the tram pass and take the tramway out. And that's gonna be a long detour for him.
Yep.
Because
So
that tram pass is just gonna take him to Kingdom's Edge, which is still gonna be difficult for him to get out of because he doesn't have Claw.
no, it's easy to get out once you're in Kingdom's Edge. You just go up to King Station
Yes.
there.
Sorry, wrong word. I mean, it's a long trip.
Yeah, it's long. It's not difficult, but definitely long. But yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, Yote's path to victory here is that they both get tram pass here. Yote goes immediately trams to Hive, finds Sprint Master. Meanwhile, Ax goes down to Abyss, finds nothing. Then afterwards, while Ax is checking Crystal Peak for all the items there, Yote clears Lurie and Grimchild and all grubs.
Yeah, that's probably the best case scenario.
So with that in mind, I don't think it's over for Yote necessarily, but it's contingent on the Sprint Master placement. Or no, it isn't. Actually, Sprint Master doesn't matter for Ax. All that matters is that Ax checks Abyss before Crystal Peak. Which he shouldn't, because he knows that Yote has all these awesome items, and Yote probably didn't kill Hornet too. But, who knows, we'll see.
Yeah. Yote does need to find Sprint Master to win this seed.
Well, Yote needs to get all 4 goals. Ax needs
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, so it's some real pressure on Yote at the moment.
Oh, chat pointing out we are missing D-Dark, because Ax chickened out of the Dark Room.
Yeah, that is true. So
There
there
is-
should be something there.
It's actually a 50-50 that Yote won't have to kill Hornet too.
Yeah. If he remembers to check Descending Dark.
True, Descending Dark, very hard to remember. It's very isolated.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't remembered either, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to show at least something. Yote
Not to
getting...
mention, I think Yote at this point has, like, it's not just those 4 checks for Yote, right? He's got other checks he can probably do too, that Ax did, and so we know that there's nothing there, but he doesn't know that.
Other than Quick Slash, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head either, but I'm sure they exist. You're right, I can really only think of Quick Slash.
Because Yote even did that awful Mantis Lords play, which we said he shouldn't do, and lost him a ton of time early on.
Yeah, where he checked Oro's nail huts, but, like, nothing else.
Yes, he also did that awful Kingdom's Edge play. Reminiscing 2 hours in, all of the ways in which this race could have been over 45 minutes ago. This was not a bad card, or a bad
Yote
seed.
is going into Ancient Basin?
Oh, Yote's getting the stag here. Because remember, he already opened this one.
Yeah,
So,
but
this
where's
isn't
he
bad.
going with it?
The only goal which Yote can mark is all grubs. He could also go check D-Dark right now. Those are the best things Yote can do here. Meanwhile, Ax is throwing him that lifeline with the Abyss check.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Ax really enjoying that door.
Okay, Crossroads. This could
He's
be
probably
grubs
going
or
to check
D-Dark.
Descending Dark then.
Well, it could be grubs.
Oh yeah, that's true, because he hasn't actually killed the Dreamer, so he has the quick access from here to Fog Canyon.
The good thing for Yote is that even after Ax makes the Crystal Peak play, he will still have to do Grimchild as the only goal he can mark, other than all grubs.
That's actually true, so
That being
Ax really should not be... No, Ax needs to check, because he needs to find the Mantis Claw.
that being said, this would have been a billion times better if Yote had simply gotten Grimchild during the 2 times he visited Glyphs. Obviously, the first time he didn't get the Dream Nail that was right next to Grimchild. The second time there was no excuse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yote's Howling Glyphs play has been atrocious this game around.
right, the fact that Yote has a decent chance, as Mazda points out, is almost entirely due to the fact that Ax spent the middle hour of the race doing nothing, save quitting repeatedly to the awful Soul Sanctum bench, and
Yeah,
making
and then
us wonder.
yeah, and then quitting out of the one area where like Mantis Claw is, which is basically his whole victory condition at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it is shocking that the race is still going, really, is the most generous way to put it. And unless yeah, it really all comes down to how long it takes Ax to check deep focus.
Yeah,
And
it seems like Yote is definitely focusing on closing out these grubs here.
right, the good news for Yote too is that even after Ax checks deep focus, he still has to get to the Crusher chest because Grimchild does require Crystal Heart.
Yeah,
And
true.
this is good for Yote. Descending Dark or Hive Blood is the key.
Yeah. So
Does Ax not realize that that doesn't hard save?
I think he might not know that.
I'm not sure it's even possible. It may be possible to get out of here without Claw, but it's quite difficult. Regardless,
I'm pretty confident you can do with some spike pogoing.
probably. Regardless, it's never required, even if you do have Claw.
And
So,
wait, can't you do this like there's a climb out of the abyss on the right side, right?
yes, but that uses Claw heavily.
Ah, I thought he just used like weird
No.
slopes and
Yeah.
double jumps.
Um,
It's not an inner route I run, so I wouldn't.
yeah, those actually might refresh your double jump without wall jump, now that I think about it.
Yote taking a risk with that crystal dash,
Yeah.
paying off though.
Yeah. Ax
And
finally remembers that he can quit out.
yeah, Ax liking his subpar bench quitting out though.
Alright, what is Yote gonna do next?
I mean, really the only thing that Yote can do is start doing checks.
He has to find Sprint Master to mark anything.
Yeah, and his best options for that is probably either Hive Blood or Descending Dark. And of those two, Descending Dark is probably the better option at the moment.
Yeah, Descending Dark will be much faster than Hive Blood.
Yeah. So he's kind of hoping it's there.
Not to mention Ax will probably check Hive Blood first. Not that it'll help Ax, but...
But we will see where all this stuff is.
Yote seems to be spending a lot of time thinking. That's not a good sign. And he goes to King Station.
I'm not sure I like Yote's play at the moment.
He's going to Quick Slash. Or Abyss.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what Quick Slash is, because he never saw that.
Yeah, he should be checking the fastest items he has access to right now, and these aren't it. The really concerning thing for me, the reason...
I think Ax needs to save quit.
Nah, he should be fine.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, he can just damage tank. Never
Oh
mind.
wait, hold on. Ax does need to save quit because he needs to tram one more over. Yeah, he can't climb up this. But
Please tell me that Yote is not going to Hornet 2.
I think he's doing Quick Slash then Hornet 2. The reason why you should do Quick Slash last out of the 3 open spots Yote has is so that you can decide whether or not to do Hornet 2 based off of what's there. And the knowledge of what's at D-Dark and Hive Blood.
Yeah, this I think is a big mistake from Yote.
Right. Well, if he's checking Quick Slash, it's not a huge mistake. Quick Slash on its own is slower than D-Dark, but faster than Hive Blood. But if he keeps on going, it's awful.
Yeah.
And it's just... it's questionable decision making.
But that has basically been the name of the game this time around.
Yeah. This has not been a great race for people who want to... people who get angry at questionable decision making. I do like Yote deciding to heal, so hopefully he won't have a spooky room like Ax had.
Ax is not checking High Blood.
He probably figures that Yote found everything in Crystal Peak. Yote has revealed that he has Crystal Heart and Mantis Claw at this point. And Isman, yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
Ax is probably making his way over to Crystal Peak as we speak.
right. And really, Ax doesn't have any other areas which could have this many items anyways.
Yeah. And High Blood takes a long time to check. It's like a 3-minute check or something.
Yeah, it's quite long. It's not the play here.
At least not for Ax. And Yote seems to be deciding to go for
D-Dark.
Descending Dark. He
I'm
did
glad.
not go for Hornet, which I do like.
Yes, this is great. 50-50 shot that D-Dark will put him back in the race. And probably after D-Dark, he'll have to do Watcher Knights and Lurian, and then still get to Grimchild before Axe. That's a tall order. That's gonna basically require Axe to fail Deep Focus. He has to die in that room.
But this could give him more goals, which lowers the score differential between them.
True.
And gives him more points later on.
And Yote has come back to make this 12-10. This is really good. Yeah, Crystal Peak is the only remaining place for Axe to check. So,
Yeah,
we'll see what
Axe
order
making
he
his way
does. If he does Crystal Heart first, which would be weird, but possible.
It would require a pretty lengthy shade skip.
Or Axe might even do D-Dark first. I mean, that's an option
Which
for
would
him.
be interesting, because we haven't seen what's there yet. But we are about to. Since Yote is going through the not-so-dark room.
Alright, either it's Sprint Master or it's not Sprint Master. 50-50 shot.
If Sprint Master's not here, then it's gotta be in High Blood. And it seems like Axe is going for Descending Dark first. That's a shame, because he's not gonna find Claw there. Claw's up at the Deep Focus at the moment.
Yes, this is enormous for Yote, because Axe will have to full clear Crystal Peak in order to get Crystal Heart and Claw.
Yeah.
During that time, if this is Sprint Master, Yote can probably get to Lurian. And he has Dreamgate to get out of Lurian. But Sprint Master is at Hive Blood.
Oh, yeah, that is really unlucky.
That is a loss for Yote. I just don't see any way Axe fails at Crystal Peak long enough to get a Hive Knight fight in.
Yeah, I find it very, very unlikely.
Yote does know, though, he is going to Hive Blood.
Yeah, and he knows that Hive Blood makes Hive a lot quicker.
Yes, this is a good sign from Yote. Hopefully we'll see a Deathless Hive. And Axe is struggling with Crystallized Mound.
Yeah, so Yote may have pulled something off yet.
I think there is a very good chance this finishes 13-12. I think that it'll probably finish 13-12 Axe, but you never know.
Oh, and apparently if you jump high enough, you can actually Death Warp up. I did not know that.
Interesting.
That was quite lucky on Axe's side. Getting that lucky hazard spot. I wonder if he knew about that, or if he just got lucky with that.
I think that was an accident.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I don't like... That would be such specific knowledge that I don't think any speedrunner actually has it in their head to use it in the moment. I mean, now we all do, because we all saw it, but...
Alright, we're gonna see all of Axe's Crystal Peak skills put to the test here.
Meanwhile, we're gonna see Yote doing his best in the Hive.
This is down to the wire. Yes, and Yote's Hive skills too. Probably an area which Yote is not familiar with, if I had to guess.
Yote's going off, or Axe going off to somewhere else? Is he going for the Crusher chest again?
Axe might not realize that this isn't inaccessible. We might see him try and shade skip it.
I guess he's wanting to visit Darkroom again?
No?
No, he realized. He knows.
He wants to pogo up here.
I think he's trying to check the chest again.
Wow, this could be what it hinges on, is Axe doesn't know the logic.
Or he's trying to find his way up. I guess he just doesn't know that he has to go through the spike corridor at the moment.
Yeah, the spike corridor is the only way back up. There's no shortcuts in Clawless Hive. Qualis Hive. Qualis Crystal Peak.
Yeah.
There is a shortcut in Hive, but it's not very much worth opening.
No, especially because you have to actually pass the point where it's useful.
Yeah. Even if you
But-
die, it doesn't save time, I don't think.
Axe giving us a very good show of the spy corridor, doing it very smoothly.
Yes, the
very
third time
quickly.
we've seen it this race.
Axe did a very good job with that.
Uh-oh. You may
He
not
was going
quite
in the wrong direction.
know his way. Oh, no. I think his bench is still at,
Yeah, he's still benched down at the bottom. Oh, and Yote not realizing that the Crystal Dash draws aggro.
Yeah, he made that mistake earlier, I think, too.
Yeah. And Axe.
Yote? What are you doing? No, no! Stop farming that, Yote! Why?
I think he's trying to. Oh god.
Also,
I
he
think
could
he was
have...
trying to kill it so that he would be safe from busting open the walls.
He also could have busted open any of those with Shade Soul. All of those with Shade Soul.
Yeah.
And
I
he
know.
can just Dreamgate back too.
I don't know.
Fortunately for Yote, Axe is struggling heavily outside of defocus.
Fortunately for Joe's high skills, Axe's Crystal Peak skills are
are
about
just
the same
as
level.
bad. Yeah, both of these runners are choking tremendously.
Yeah.
And part of that is probably that they've had a really unfortunate 2.5 hours of really bad gameplay. And, you know, we all know that people with bad gameplay tend to feel bad about themselves.
Yeah,
But-
and it's very easy to tilt in this kind of scenario.
Yes.
But Yote finally realizing he can use that Dream Gate and warping right back to it.
No, my criticism of the runners is only intensifying because they have brought this upon themselves. I've lost the ability to feel pity for them. Yote should just blast these open. You get 7 hits for free at the start of the Hive Night fight.
And Axe has found it. Or he's made it across.
Axe
He's gonna
has
find it in
found
seconds.
half of it. Axe has not found all of it. Also,
Wait,
great job
he
wasting
doesn't-
your soul, Yote.
I mean, he doesn't need the Crystal Dash, does he, at this point?
Yeah, good luck getting Grimchild without that. Upgrading Grimchild, that is.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Never mind. He'd need to either do a difficult shade skip or
So-
find.
Axe may be about to check the Crusher first, which will save a lot of time, actually.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He knows that that was what he needed for that
Yep.
chest.
Yote's choke in the Hive, cost him time he did not have,
Yeah.
is the best way to put it. Yep, Axe not even messing around. He's gonna go straight for this chest, find Crystal Heart, and he'll be in go mode. Yote, meanwhile, looks like he's about to die, and he does.
Unfortunate. And there we go. Axe has everything he requires, and I think he knows it too because he immediately save quits out.
Yeah, he's just looking to finish Grimchild. Yote didn't prepare for Grimchild, so he's just strictly behind Axe at this point.
Yeah, and Yote had so many opportunities to prepare for Grimchild too,
He did. Poor planning.
which is the most frustrating part.
Also, Yote's still farming for soul for Hive Night, which isn't necessary. Yeah, not much to say here. It's a pretty straightforward cleanup for Axe. Grimchild is a slow goal, but not that slow actually, once you have all stacks open.
Yeah, and the thing is, even if Yote, even if it's slow and Yote managed to get his 2 goals, Sprint Master and Lurian here, he's still gonna need to get Grimchild to win.
Exactly. He would have to have Axe die to a Grimkin, like 10
Which
times
is
in a
very
row now.
unlucky.
Axe
It is
will.
worth pointing out though that
Axe-
Axe did upgrade a nail, so his Grimkins are gonna be stronger.
They'll be stronger, but there's just no chance Axe dies to any of them.
Yeah, it's not significant enough to matter.
Axe runs this category,
Yeah, and if
and
if
Yote
they had
doesn't
been
know
at
how
the
to
same
fight
point
Hive Night.
right now, if both of them had only Grimchild left, then it might have mattered. But
Yeah, if they only had one, if they were down to that goal, it would be another thing. I'm not even sure Yote will defeat Hive Knight before X is done. He doesn't seem to have any clue how to do this fight.
Yeah, Yote is choking pretty hard here.
Yeah, quit Fragile Heart, Yote.
He did it eventually. And luckily he did place his teleport gate closer, I think, so...
Well,
as long as he actually remembers to use it.
Zero pointing out that it shows that Yote has never run 112%. I would say that it shows that Yote has never run Hive 9%. And that is the greater tragedy.
Chad is also pointing out that we should not underestimate Ax2u's ability to die to random stuff, which, I mean, that's a fair point. He's demonstrated that he's got that ability.
That's true. I mean, keep in mind, Grimchild is 2 transitions away from Boulder Shell. Anything is possible in this area.
And infinite loads are a thing still.
They are.
And there is a gentleman's agreement that you should kind of wait if an infinite load happens. We'll see if that happens, if we stick to that.
Axe picking up the relic. Might want Geo. Yote spending a billion years farming for soul.
He's spending more... At this point, Yote's spending more time farming for soul than he is using the soul.
It would be easier for Yote to save quit, Dreamgate back, and this time don't hit any of the enemies. It's that simple. Like, I know it's tempting to hit the giant enemy that does 2 damage, but don't. And try that.
I mean, if we just look at it, he's taking more damage than he's healing. This is a cycle where he's just going to keep dying.
Also,
that's seemingly not a way that you can quit out of that cutscene early.
There's a very good strategy for Hive Knight too, where you don't get hit. You don't walk into Hive Knight. You don't try and attack him when he attacks you. Hive Knight's difficult when you haven't fought it before, but it's not impossible. You just play defensively.
Yeah, especially with the loadout that Yote has.
Yeah, Shade Soul makes this very straightforward. And when you stun him, you get lots of time to heal. Just keep up enough souls so that you can take advantage of that.
Yeah, so I'd imagine that either Yote is entirely unfamiliar with this fight, or he's under...
I think he
might just
tilted.
be under too much pressure for this.
Yote seems tilted to me.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's got to finish so many goals so fast. He's under a tremendous amount of pressure.
Yeah, well, too little, too late.
Yeah, with that, Ax is now starting his Grimchild collection. Oof.
I hope that no one is taking the things we say in commentary too seriously. Like, we're poking fun at the runners, but it is all in good fun. Hive Knight himself is a bit of a meme too, because only current patch runners who run 112% actually know how to fight him. So, in the extraordinarily rare case where Hive Blood is required in Randomizer, it tends to bring out the worst in all of us.
Yeah, because a lot of the bosses in this game is like, the first time you play them, they're actually quite difficult because you don't know the pattern, you don't know the proper reactions to them. But most people who speedrun have fought all the bosses so many times that they're used to them. But Hive Knight is such a new boss, like, comparatively to all the other bosses. He's so new, and like,
yeah,
like no category faces him ever.
Like, it would be like if there were a item behind Absolute Radiance or Pure Vessel, and you could fight them somewhere. Like, you would see all of us be garbage at that fight, except you, because you actually run that category.
Yeah, I'm like one of the few people who actually run 112%, so I'm like one of the few who actually fight this guy. He's a really fun fight, in my opinion.
Oh, Hive Knight's a really cool fight. It has great music, and it's... The attacks are actually fairly well telegraphed once you know what to look for. It's just one of those things where it's a hard fight to walk into.
Yeah, and needing to learn shit while you're racing somebody else's.
Yeah, that's the worst of it, right? That's why I was saying before that, like, it's completely possible that Ax could have joked deep focus for 10 minutes if he didn't know it, because that's a really hard fight to, or hard trick to learn on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. And like when you're in a race and you've not done the shit before, finally Hive Knight dying.
You managing to dodge all the bees. That
Almost. He almost got hit twice with
that
those bees.
yeah, that's really scary when the bees are covered by the explosion at the end.
Yeah, it's
I what? What have we missed?
I
I'm confused.
I don't have any witty commentary for this part. I'm genuinely confused
Interesting.
too. Like, where could it be? They checked
I
Golden Room.
I thought we had seen everything.
Okay, hold up. We can see their seat.
Okay,
right?
we
So
haven't seen Botcher Knights. Jad is right. Axe didn't check it because he didn't have Claw.
that is true.
I
Oh, that is so unfortunate because oh my god, because
I had
Yote had to
completely
go
forgotten.
behind there, Lurian the whole time.
Yeah, and if Yote had tried to snipe the Watcher Knight's goal instead of 2 simple keys, that would have synergized so well.
Yeah. Oh, that is
Ah.
really unfortunate actually.
Yeah, that could have been such a good routing play. He went for 2 simple keys instead.
Which I mean, at the time, that was the correct play. Right? I mean, it was
I don't. I think setting up Lurian for later would have been good for Yote. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it would have been good, but at the point, he needed to deny goals from Axe as fast as possible. And
Yeah.
simple keys at that point was slightly faster than going to Watch Knights. So it was the play to make in the moment. It's just unfortunate that it was randomly behind there.
Right. I know everyone's saying Yote could have won. It's also fair to say that Axe also could have won at several points throughout this. He made some odd plays in the middle of the game, which he probably does regret. So,
the fairest way to put it is that both runners threw the race several times.
Yes, this race was lost by everyone, including the viewers.
Yeah. And even we forgot the Watch Night chest. One of the chests that like everyone forgets because it's relatively new. It's after a boss fight that you normally don't do in randomizers.
Yeah, Watcher Knights being one of the newer checks, one of the slower checks, and a claw block check. It's pretty rare for people to go for that one.
Yeah. And with that, Axis upgraded the Grimchild and won with, I believe it is 10 to 13.
It is 13 to 10. Axe's victory. GG to everyone. Really fun race. We had a good time commentating, but actually we got to see a lot of neat plays from both sides.
Yeah, we took the rag on these plays a bit. Maybe not the nicest thing to do, but
No, but that's what you get to do when you commentate.
yeah, I know, right? But still, it was a good showing.
It was absolutely
good showing.
It was absolutely. Oh, and we are getting an echo, so I'm going to mute Axe, and let's see what Axe has to say for himself.
Yeah, why did you throw the race?
Why did Claw have to be in there, dude?
Yeah, we were going wild when you went through Crystal Peak shortly after Yote did, and didn't check Deep Focus.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to rush the Soul Vessel thing so I can secure Nail 2 on the right side for myself.
Yeah.
I just wasn't thinking.
Just so you know, the other item there was this Mystere as well, that Crystal Heart. Crystal Peak had Claw, Tear, and Crystal Heart.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, great check.
Yeah, and that's like the one place I decided not to check.
Yeah, we saw it. I commented on it several times.
Yeah, you checked everything before you got back there.
Yeah,
where was Sprint Master?
We never found it, but I think it was eliminated to just Watcher Knight's chest.
Yeah.
It's probably in the Watch Night chest.
Yeah. Well, I should have gone there instead of High Blood.
Yeah, here's the thing. Even as commentators thought that it wasn't High Blood.
Yeah,
like,
we had
forgotten that the Watch Night chest was a thing.
Right, we had completely forgotten because Axe defeated Watcher Knights, but he didn't have Claw, so he couldn't check it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, speaking of Watch Nights, I called like 20 or 30 minutes into the race that Ax could go kill Watcher Knights to secure himself the right side.
And I called that you would go do Hornet too because I said that that would be a
Yeah.
much better play for
And then,
Axe.
like an hour later, you finally marked obtain 1 extra soul vessel.
Yes, Axe
Yeah.
was outthinking both of us with the Galaxy Brain play.
It was pretty big rain. Not gonna lie. But
I
I
did
had
get
a
Watcher
question
Knights
for you
and
though,
Hornets,
Ax.
so.
What was going through your mind when you save warped to the Soul Sanctum bench 7 times?
I was trying to get nail too, so I don't know, and I was really confused with my routing there anyway.
You weren't the
That's
only one
the story of
confused.
this entire race. Man without claw tries to play the game and doesn't know how to do it.
I mean,
Like,
we made fun
uh,
of your big brain play a little bit, but actually visiting Soul Sanctum as early as you did was huge for the race because getting that
yeah.
dive and that dream nail made such a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Dreamnail was at Soul Sanctum.
No, dream nail was
It was in the
at
crypts.
Soul Eater, blocked by dive. And
Oh, sorry.
the only copy of dive you could get was the one in Soul Sanctum. Unless you check Joni's blessing, which Yote did not do, and we were very unhappy about that.
Yeah, I should. I realized that after the fact because I thought I had done it when I went to get the Stagnus vessel fragment, but
Right, you went there with 4,000 Geo, but hadn't bought Lantern yet.
Oh, was Joni's the other dream now?
Yeah, it was the other
yeah,
one.
Joni's and
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
So
that and Soul
Dreamland
Eater.
was either dive locked or claw locked.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, with one copy of dive blocked by dream nail, even.
2.5 hours without claw was pretty painful, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
I knew for a fact that you were gonna check Lon. I'm just like, all right, that's kind of nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Well,
was
when
actually a time there in the middle of the race where Yote had Claw and Ax had Dreamnail, and it was really anyone's game at that point. Either runner could have gotten stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was really interesting in the middle with how it split up.
Oh yeah, when I got the dream nail, I decided I'm gonna rush all the dream nail goals because it
That
was in
was
a place that's fairly easy to get, right? So I just wanted to secure all of them for myself while he still doesn't have it. Because I kind of knew he doesn't, because he would have marked 0 like ages ago otherwise.
yeah, it's really annoying that my side of the card had all like Dreamnail goals on the
Yeah.
far left.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to get the right side in the first place. Just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the left side was horrible if you don't have dream nail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we commentators remarked on the left side being so undesirable early, and we were wondering for a long time because, Yote, you were confined very early on to either the bottom or the left, and it didn't seem like you were trying to get any of the goals on the bottom. Was there a reason for that, or?
No. I tried to get 6 maps at some point.
Hmm.
I'm
Right.
trying to think of the other ones. 5 grubs, city of tears. I don't know.
Yeah, 6 maps was the only accessible goal for you, but you never really prioritized it enough
No, I checked
while
it at
the
one
board
point
was still
and,
open.
like, I had visited 6 areas, but none of the maps were there, and I got really confused.
Um, well, for most of them, you have to hit specific triggers in order to get the
Yeah, I know.
map to go back.
Should probably learn what those triggers are.
It's more reliable to just buy it from Cornifer, cheaper too.
The triggers are usually the local
Area
boss
boss.
being fought.
But not always.
Yeah, not always. Some of them are different.
Some of them just never go back in Rando.
Because it's probably entering a specific area like Green Path would be the one room where you do the fireball or mosquito skip. Because I had killed Hornet several in Green Path.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a question I had, or have, specifically for Yod, but Axe had a little tendency to this early on, but specifically for Yod, you seem to be going for reserve goals a lot instead of actual like goals you could get at the moment. Like you got Spell Twister and Shaman Stone in reserve. You got 5 grubs instead of tears as a reserve goal. Was there a reason you went for reserve goal specifically, or
Um, with the Shaman Stone spell twister, I'm not sure what I was doing, but for the 5 grub Insidia tears, it was just more convenient to go grab all those, then grab the other key.
Fair enough. It was just really unfortunate when you ended up getting sniped on Spell Twister.
yeah? I mean, Shaman Stone and Spell Twister is a good combo anyway when you have void spells, right? So
right.
I mean,
Having Love Key available, those 5 grubs would have been very difficult for Axe to get to without Claw. But
Yeah, it's not
that's
possible to
yeah,
get grubs.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's not
it's
possible to Watcher Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the power of hindsight, I guess. The green path checks you did, uh, while you could have gotten Love Key, were ended up being really profitable for you anyway, since that's where Mark of Pride was.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
Wait,
surprised.
where is Marker Pride?
Great Slash.
Oh, of course. Well,
yeah, we
overranked
actually
was
mentioned
also
that we didn't
Claw.
think Axe was gonna check Mark of Pride at one point, and we were discussing like should Yote at this point go and try and get the Grimchild and hope that Axe doesn't get Mark of Pride, or should he go for the long nail play and mark that goal himself and then continue?
I mean, Longnail made way more sense to me.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got sniped on 500 Essence. The two of you were very close
Yeah,
in going for that goal. Axe
Yeah.
died to the area before Broken Vessel, and you died to No Eyes. And just that little bit of time was enough for Axe to beat Lost Kin before you could beat Zero.
Oh, would you
that
have
sucks.
gotten? Where
Um,
did you get your essence?
I
he
was
got
getting
it.
it from No Eyes because it was a goal, Markov because it was convenient,
Ah,
and
okay.
what was the other
And
one?
zero.
Yeah, so I believe that it was as you Yote absorbed the essence from Markov as you absorbed the essence from Lost Skin was how
Oh,
close it
really?
was. So
Wow.
yeah, the deaths from both of you ended up canceling each other out, but it was still really hype.
Yeah.
That
If you
sucks.
hadn't gotten No Eyes, I don't know if I would have even done Luskin, honestly. Like, if you had marked them at the same time, I would have probably gone for Wings first and then Luskin. Just because, I don't know.
Right. Once you knew that he had Dream Nail,
Yeah,
that
my
was
plan was to get No Eyes for the 500 Essence and get them at the same time. Even though I couldn't even
couldn't
mark
mark
both of
them,
them,
but
but
you could
yeah, but just as
take one
reserve,
away.
Just efficiency, I guess. But yeah, when you marked No Eyes, I knew I had to get the Fire Essence as quickly as
Yeah, that was
possible.
smart.
Yeah, that 500 essence was a big turning point.
Yeah, really
Yeah, if you
important
had
goal
had that,
because
you would
that
have
was what
probably
stopped him
then
from
you
being
could have
able to
marked
mark.
way more goals.
It forced him to search for Sprint Master, which
Yeah.
was in such an
I'm
awful
still searching
location.
for it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Sprint Master was in such a like seldomly checked location.
Yeah, we were a little skeptical of Axis play to get Nail 2 so early, but it actually paid huge dividends for you.
Because I had the pillar and
Yeah,
everything, I was
it's
about to
nice.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if getting the nail too early was strictly worth it just from a time perspective, but
it's a
it did
great
lock.
safety. And
I mean, I
yeah,
don't know. It took so long for Axe to get all the stuff for it, you know.
true.
Yeah, the problem with that was that I didn't realize I need Claw to get the Green Path Soul Vessel.
Yes, we were
So
wondering about that one.
yeah, that caused me to have to go to Crystal Vigs, get the shopkeepers key, and get the Geo for that and all that because I was like set on getting that nail too marked, right? Um, and that's also caused the fact that I
You
didn't
missed
check
Deep
like anything in
Focus.
Crystal Vig because I
Yeah,
was just like rushing for that goal. So yeah, just a
Yeah,
bunch of
and then you
unfortunate.
missed Claw.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I probably could have routed that better if I knew that one soul vessel wasn't available.
Is that the one over by the chest and the grub?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, up
Alright.
there. You can't get
that
that
one
without claw.
requires claw.
Good to know.
Or maybe a shade skip. I don't know. But the
Yeah,
shade skip's
potentially
gonna
with a
take
shade
so
skip.
long to do.
Yeah,
Well, no, because you
probably
could
not
bench
worth it.
at There's a bench there above No Eyes.
Yeah, but it would still be a pretty long trek back there. Just for
Yeah, not to
one
mention
solo
then
shade.
trekking back to another bench again.
Oh yeah, after that, because I was gonna say, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But honestly, in hindsight, I definitely should have gotten the one about King Station. I just forgot that exists for a moment.
Local Hundo runner forgets full vessel
Yeah,
locations.
really.
Come on, it's all just muscle memory. I don't actually
It
remember any of it.
it's life. It's a long route
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of small details that you can forget in the race because a lot of a 100% run is. As somebody who runs it myself, at least I feel like I can speak about this. But like, a lot of a 100% run is not strictly speaking knowing where shit is, but like, once you've done one thing, you can chain this thing off of it. And in a
Yeah,
random race, you don't
yeah.
have that. So you don't like if you don't do the first thing, you don't remember where the second thing is because it's tied mentally to the first thing that you do in the order.
Yeah, essentially, it's like muscle memory. You just know where to go, even if you don't strictly remember where to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's very easy in a randomizer to forget that like some checks exist because you normally do those checks in a certain order in a 100% run.
Yeah, definitely. If you go like straight from Hondo into Rando, you're not gonna be that good at it, even though
Yeah.
you should know where everything is.
And we do have it confirmed on camera.
Yep, it is Sprint Master. Is that or Sprint Master
Mm.
3?
Sprint
That is a
Master
very unfortunate placement.
at one
Wait,
of
what
the
was
Worst
it?
thing
worst
is I was
checks in the game.
considering going for it instead of Hive Blood first, and then I could have marked Lurian.
Did you ever consider going for Watcher instead of two simple keys? That was something that we had wondered about, considering
I
you
had
had
accidentally bought.
Lurian.
I'd accidentally bought a key from Sly, so I just kind of rolled with it.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean,
Also, two simple
I'm
keys is way easier to get than Watcher Knights.
yeah,
True.
exactly. I maintain that getting the simple at the time where you got it, getting the simple keys was the correct play because you wanted to deny goals to Axe, and that was the easier goal of the two to get.
On
And
the
it
other
just
hand, the less useful long term. It's a trade off.
yeah, exactly. It's just unfortunate that it worked out that like 3 goals were behind Watch Night instead of 2 goals.
Yeah.
Not something that could
Oh
be
yeah.
predicted.
All
So
right
that was a
then.
good race.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
it
lot
was.
of fun to talk about.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but pretty
Still,
intense
still a
too.
little annoyed about the dream now, but yeah.
Yeah.